Hello, good afternoon. My name is Richard. This is Over and Over and Over Again. Happy New Year. This is our last show of 2023. It's the last match of 2023. It's Fulham versus Arsenal from Craven Cottage. It's all coming up the other side of this. So, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for tuning in today. This is, I say, the last game of 2023, and it's a big game for Arsenal. If we win, we will go back to the top of the table. But, of course, should we fail to win, we will stay in fourth place. That's how tight it is in that top four. Now, we've got the team news for you. Quite interesting from an Arsenal perspective, certainly. So, let's have a look at that, shall we, first of all? So, this is our Arsenal lineup. And in goal, it is David Raya. The back four, Ben White, William Saliba, Gabriel, and Jakub Kiwior comes out left back in place of Zinchenko. There's rumours that he's injured, but I believe it's because he's just been dreadful. In midfield, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, and Kai Havertz comes back following his suspension. Kind of expected that he would. There's another change in the front three as well. We've got Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, and they are either side of Eddie Nketiah. So he gets the nod ahead of Gabriel Jesus. So on the bench then, Aaron Ramsdale, Cedric Suarez, Takahiro Tomiyasu, Jorginho, Mohamed El Neni, Emil Smith-Rowe, Reece Nelson, Leandro Trossard, and Gabriel Jesus. That's how the Arsenal team lines up for you today. For Fulham, then, they've got some familiar names from an Arsenal perspective in their team. Bernd Leno in goal, of course, the former Arsenal goalkeeper. They're back for Timothy Castagna, Tosin, Calvin Bassey, and Anthony Robinson. In midfield, it is João Paulinho, captain Tom Cairney, and Bobby De Cordova-Reid. And their front three includes two former Arsenal players, Alex Iwobi and Willian, and they are either side of João Jimenez, of course, former Wolves player who got that terrible injury, didn't he, against Arsenal back in 2020 when he played for Wolves. On the bench then for Fulham, it is Marek Rodak, the goalkeeper, Kenny Tete, Fode Ballo-Touré, Issa Diop, Sasha Lukic, Harrison Reed, Harry Wilson, Andreas Pereira, and Rodrigo Muniz. So there your team lineups. And what are we making of that from Arsenal? So there's actually three changes, which for Mikel Arteta is actually a lot, isn't it? Because he generally makes one if he has to. He's made three in this game. Jakub Kiwior left back, I think that's a good option just because of how badly Zinchenko's been playing. I think it's the right thing to bring Kiwior in. Tomiyasu's on the bench. Clearly, he's not quite fit enough to start, or I think he would have dropped in there. In midfield, Kai Havertz comes back. I'm not really too surprised about that. He's been in great form lately, hasn't he, as we know, and I think he's quite important to the way that we want to play. And Eddie for Jesus up front, is that an improvement in that area? No, quite honestly, it isn't. We don't have an improvement in that area. That is a big problem. Of course, the January transfer window opens tomorrow, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. We definitely need a centre forward. There's no question about that. But that's the team today. I mean, what we need to do is bounce back, don't we, from the other night? That was really poor, wasn't it? The West Ham game, really poor performance. People say, well, we created all those chances. Yeah, we did, but to have 30 chances in a game and not score, there's a problem there. Clearly there's a problem there. I think it's 81 chances in the last three games and scored 2 goals, or 3 goals. It's not enough, is it? We've got a problem sticking the ball in the net at the minute. And when things aren't going well, when we concede a goal, we seem to get anxious, don't we? Overly anxious in front of goal, and then we miss more chances. That seems to be what's happening. Anyway, let's have a look and see how this goes. We've got some comments in already. Nathan's with us. Hi, Rich, everyone in the chat. It says Happy New Year to everyone. Yeah, and yourself, my friend. I hope 2024 is going to be a great year for you. Nathan's gone 1-0 to Arsenal, which, we'll get on to score predictions. You put your score predictions in, actually, what you think the score might be today. I'll give you mine very, very shortly. Phil's with us as well. I do, my friend. He says, good afternoon. Let's hope we play better. So, yes, we have to, quite honestly. Or we're not going to be top of the league. We could still be just fourth place, which going into the new year is not what anybody was expecting. Happy New Year to you and your family, mate, as well. Mark C says there, we need to bounce back. That's a confident 4-1. I mean, Fulham are a strange team, aren't they? Because they've had some fantastic results at home. They beat West Ham 5-0 very recently. They beat Nottingham Forest 5-0 as well. But the last 2 games in the league, they've not won in 4, actually, if you look at the Carabao Cup game against Everton, which they drew. Yes, they won on penalties, but they didn't win the game. and they've only scored 1 goal. In fact, they haven't scored at all in those 4 games because their only goal was an own goal by Everton's Michael Keane in that Carabao Cup tie. So they're not scoring goals at the minute, but they've got goals in them. I say they scored 10 in 2 recent home games. So they're a very strange team, aren't they? Very strange team. So we don't know what Fulham we're going to get, but we just need to concentrate on ourselves. If we play well, we should win. But Fulham aren't a bad side. They've got some good players, so we'll see. Mark C says, I see patience has run out with Zinchenko. Well, the problem, or the issue is that they've released a statement to say that he's got a slight injury. I don't believe that's true. I believe he's out because he's been terrible and costing us goals right, left and centre. And I think there's been words have been said, and that's why he's been left out. And they've made an excuse about an injury, which is easy, isn't it? If you're a football player, you can easily use the excuse that they've got an injury in training or something. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm just pleased he's not playing because he's an absolute liability at the minute. Anyway, Mark says afternoon. Happy New Year to you as well, my friend. Phil says I'd have given Martinelli a break. Glad he's dropped Zinchenko. Yeah, I mean, I would have given Martinelli a break as well. Potentially, maybe put Trossard in that position because Trossard's better in that position than he is in that midfield role he had to play the other day. So that would have been a better option for me to have done that. But anyway, Arteta knows what he's doing, doesn't he? We should never ever question him or doubt him because there you go. That's the rules. But we'll see. We need if we. I mean, we've only had 1 win in our last 5 games coming into this game. In all competitions, that does include the PSV game, sorry, in the Champions League. But it's only 1 win in 5 games. And should we not win this today, then that would be a really, really poor run, wouldn't it, going into the new year? When you think we've got the FA Cup 3rd round next week, and then we've got our winter break before the game is at Crystal Palace when we come back, I think. So, you know, it's this is a crucial game, isn't it? I think if we don't win today, then that is not looking good, is it? You know, yes, we still won't be far off the top, let's be honest. But even so, you know, it's to do with running a form, isn't it? When you found 1 win in 5 games, and the game before that was the Luton game where we were 10 seconds away from dropping points there as well and not winning that game. So we're not in great form at the minute. There's no question about that. We're not in great form, and you know, we need to put that right today, and we need a win. Let's see if we can get it. Arsenal are wearing the green and blue kit today, actually, which is a rare one, isn't it? Normally, we tend to wear that horrible yellow kit when we're away. But today it's the green and blue one, which is good. Fulham obviously will be in their white and black traditional colours. Famous club, aren't they? Fulham. Over the years, they've always been a strange club. I've never looked on. I mean, obviously it's a London derby today, but I've never looked on Fulham as a rival at all, or a London derby really, because they're not that. They're not. I don't think they're rivals to anyone, are they? They just seem such a nice, friendly club, really, don't they? They're not going to hurt anybody. But there'll be 3 players in the side today that I think will have a massive points boost, especially 2 of them who were actually let go by Mikel Arteta, called goalkeeper Bernd Leno. Interesting battle today of the goalkeepers, isn't it, with David Raya, who's come for a lot of stick, hasn't he? Although he's been playing quite well, very well in the last 2 or 3 games. Of course, Willian as well, who, for one reason or another, whatever that reason was, I don't know, but he never really worked at Arsenal under this manager, and now he's playing well for Fulham. I think he scored 4 goals this season for Fulham. You know, he scored 1 and he's only been at Fulham since the start of this season, and he only scored 1 in the whole time he was at Arsenal. So there was issues there. Of course, Alex Iwobi did leave Arsenal before Mikel Arteta came along. If you remember, he went to Everton in 2019, and he's playing well for Fulham. He played well for Everton. He's a good player. So I'm sure he's going to want to try and get a goal or so against Arsenal. They'll create some goals today, isn't he, for Fulham? So it's going to be an interesting game. But it certainly isn't going to be an easy match for Arsenal. We're going to have to be at our best today. We're going to have to put Thursday night behind us. You know, we've had less turnaround time than Fulham because they played on Boxing Day. So, you know, we just need to play better, quite honestly, than the other night. And if the chances come along, we just have to be more clinical. We can't afford to miss 50 chances today. We just cannot afford to do that again because it's going to cost us. Anyway, the teams are coming out of the strange tunnel at Fulham, of course. It's like it's outside. They appear from outside and then go through the kind of the little plastic tunnel, if you like, and come out onto the pitch in that far corner. And they are coming out now into the daylight. It will still be just about. Oh, well, actually, it won't be daylight by the end, will it? It'll be getting dark by last three. But anyway, the teams are coming out onto the pitch here. The new stand at Fulham, of course, is it's half open, isn't it? The bit in the middle is still not open for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. It took a long time to build that new stand. It looks very, very impressive, actually, you have to say. Mark C says that we robbed Everton over Iwobi's transfer fee. See, I'm not sure if we did, because you look at him since he's left us, and even when he was playing for Arsenal, he's a very steady, solid Premier League player, isn't he? He plays a lot of games. He's very rarely injured. He scores goals. He has assists. So I think it was pretty much going rate for the transfer fee. And I think he's proved since he's left Arsenal that that was money well spent. He had a good spell at Everton. He's now having a good spell at Fulham. He's a decent Premier League player. And it could be argued that he's actually stronger than some of the squad players we've got currently on our bench. Could be argued that. I'm not going to commit to that either way, but it could be argued that he's he's certainly got a bit more experience, and he's a game changer in some ways. So maybe he could still be in our squad now, could he? But we'll see. Russ says we need a positive result. Absolutely. Well, we need a win. Even a draw is not really good enough, I don't think. When we only had 1 win in 5. We need to win this game, I think. I don't even think a draw is enough. Mark C says, where's Terry? He'll be so pleased to see Havertz is back. Yeah, I'm not sure where Terry is. I'm sure he's around somewhere. I'm sure he'll pop up very, very soon. We'll have to obviously mention the fact that he's late, of course, because you've got to remember, because Terry always makes sure everybody else has to give their excuses. So we'll have to wait for Terry's excuses to wait. It is New Year's Eve, so maybe we'll excuse him. Maybe he's gone down the pub or something. Who knows? Anyway, we'll just run through the teams again. Now, for Fulham, Leno in goal, Castagna, Tosin, Bassi, and Robinson their defence. Palina, Tom Kearney, and Decordova-Reid, and then Iwobi, Jimenez, and Willian. For Arsenal, it's Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Kirill, Rice, Erdegaard, and Havertz, and Saka, Martinelli, and Nketiah. So big day for Eddie to try and prove himself in the team. A lot of people say, oh, well, he's not really had the opportunities. Well, he has. He's played well over 100 games for Arsenal, scored very few goals, and now he's got a chance. But I'd say there's a few players here with some points to prove, I'm sure, Willian being one of them. He doesn't look any different, does he? All those years he's played for Chelsea and stuff like that. He's got to be well in his 30s, and he looks exactly the same as he did 10 years ago. And he's still a good player, isn't he, Willian? He is a good player. And I'm still not 100% sure why it never worked out for him at Arsenal. Well, I'm kind of got ideas as to why. One of it's to do with a certain manager and certain systems that he likes to play. But anyway, it hasn't worked out. It didn't work out for him, but he is a very, very good player. And we expect to see more. The Arsenal players are coming over to the Arsenal fans and applauding them for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. Before they do their little huddle. We just need a response, don't we, from Thursday night, quite honestly, and our recent form in general, which hasn't been great. The team are in the huddle now, and who's leading the huddle here? Of course, it's Declan Rice, who is the real captain of this team. Yes, Martin Odegaard was doing the formalities, but Declan Rice is the leader of this team. There's absolutely no question about that. And quite why he's not got the armband on, I do not know. But anyway, we've gone through all of that nonsense. It is now time to get going with this match here, this big match. Arsenal are going to be attacking the goal to our left in the first half. And it is going to be Arsenal to kick off, I say, in the green and blue kit today with white socks. Fulham in white, of course, with black shorts and black socks as we prepare for this final game of 2023. It's been, I don't know whether you watched our show the other night, looking back on 2023, a bit of a mixed year for Arsenal, really, in many ways. Disappointing, frustrating as well. Let's hope 2024 is going to be better. But so we can put 2023 behind us over the next 2 hours as we see what happens. It's going to be Martin Odegaard to take the centre here. Mark C says, I'm a bit surprised Martinelli's in. He's been off colour lately. He really needs a goal and an assist today. Yeah, we need a goal. Would be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, we come forward straight away up this near side. Arsenal's left, looking for Kai Havertz, but the ball's gone straight out for a throw to Fulham. We are off and underway in the final game of 2023. It is going to be a difficult game for Arsenal, you feel. What we need to do really here is to get an early goal. I think if we go in front, you imagine that, Fulham aren't in great form either. As I say, they've not won in any of their last 4 games, and the only goal they've scored was an own goal. So they've got problems of their own, but it's all about how we perform today. And if we can get an early goal, then you do fancy us to go on. If you remember, Fulham actually scored at the Emirates inside the first minute, didn't they? One of those sort of games at the time where we seem to concede very early at home. And they got that early lead, didn't they? I think it was Paulino who scored that goal, wasn't it? Or was it? No, Pereira, sorry. Anyway, Paulino scored the equaliser, didn't he? After they'd gone down to 10 men. 2 points thrown away there. At the Emirates, we can't afford to throw 2 points away today. And Arsenal just picking up some possession here. Declan Rice over on that far side, just plays it back square in to William Saliba, pops it into midfield to Martin Odegaard. And now it goes to Gabriel on this near side. Declan Rice again, very central, pings the ball out to that far side. Bukayo Saka, his first touch, Bukayo Saka. We've played a minute and a half here at Craven Cottage. Arsenal still, well, Fulham nil, Arsenal nil, of course. Kiwior stepping into midfield there in the Zinchenko role. Now Gabriel finds Martinelli, plays it into Kiwior, tries to play the 1-2, but he's overhit that pass and Fulham pick up possession, but Arsenal won it back again. Eddie Nketiah lays it off to Declan Rice inside the centre circle. William Saliba now coming forward. Sorry, Ben White coming forward on that far side. Martin Odegaard turns away from a challenge, finds Bukayo Saka over on that far side. Familiar pattern this from Arsenal. Plays it back to Ben White. Ben White plays it back again to William Saliba. He turns and gives it to Declan Rice over on that far side. He tries to ping it into Martin Odegaard. Good take there, but good defending there from Anthony Robinson. He's under pressure though. He's lost the ball to Martin Odegaard inside the area. Martin Odegaard tries a shot, but it's gone wide. And at least he was trying a shot there, trying to get the shot away early on. We've maybe criticised Arsenal in recent games, especially the other night, for not really doing that enough. It was good battling away on that far side by Martin Odegaard and Saka. Odegaard came away with the ball, tried to curl it into that far corner from the very edge of the penalty area. He didn't have enough curl on it. Bernd Leno was quite happy to let that one go past the post. And it is Fulham nil, Arsenal nil. Fulham now trying to come forward themselves in the midfield. Alex Iwobi touches the ball off. And now it comes up to this near side with Timothy Castagna, former Leicester player, of course. Iwobi again in the middle of midfield. His ball was actually cut out by Eddie Nketiah, but he gets it back, Iwobi. Mark C says, there at last, someone having a crack from 20 yards. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Good to see. Shame it wasn't on target, but, you know, another shot that's not troubled a goalkeeper. There's been too many of them in recent games, as we know. But, yeah. At least he was always looking, and maybe that's going to be what we're going to do today. Look to get shots away a little bit earlier, because I think that was a big criticism, certainly from the other night. Anyway, that Fulham attack has been broken down. The ball's now broken back to Tosin, the big centre back for Fulham. Plays the ball forward into midfield. It's a good play from Fulham, actually. Pinged out to that far side. It is Willian in possession, a Brazilian, former Chelsea player, former Arsenal player, of course. Just scored that one goal, didn't he, for Arsenal? Free kick against West Brom. That ball plays a good ball, actually. Over to the far side. It's pulled back in. Good goalkeeping there from David Raya. It was Castagna there. Got clear, but now Arsenal, there's space here behind where Castagna should be. And Martinelli's running into it now. He's in the Fulham penalty area. The game's gone from one end to the other. Martinelli shot. Good save. It's put into the net by Bukayo Saka. And I think the flag stayed down. I think it's a goal to Arsenal on the counter-attack. And Arsenal have scored, and I think the goal is going to be given. He looked like he may have been offside, but I think it's going to count. It was a good counter-attack there. It was Martinelli down this near side, load of space, because Timothy Castagna was still up the pitch. He got into the area, cut inside, tried a shot. It was a good shot. There's not an offside at all there, actually. The shot comes in. It's a good save. And Saka bundles the ball in from very close range. So it is. Wow, that was a good start that from Arsenal. He almost missed that Saka. It came at him very, very quickly. He did look as though he was offside when he got the ball, when the ball came to him. But if you look, he wasn't. And that is his 6th Premier League goal of the season. He is our top scorer. He's been our top scorer in 2023. Mark C says there, Leno palmed it straight to him. Just what we needed. Yeah, he did. I mean, Leno didn't really have a lot of choice, did he? He's at full stretch. Got a good saving, but pushed it straight back out, and the Fulham defence was just standing there watching. Terry is with us. He says, afternoon, Richard, Mark, Nathan, Phil, and all in the chat. Sorry about being late. Had to bloody reset my internet. A couple of you guys getting their Saka. Oh, well, you know, I knew you'd have a good excuse, Terry. That's fine. Anyway, Fulham looking to respond. It was funny enough from there. Good attack just before that. A counter-attack. David Raya's throw out started that, actually. And then Martinelli used the space created by Timothy Castagna getting forward, which is getting forward again. Alex Iwobi now on the ball for Fulham looking to respond. They are Decod over Reed on this near side, finds Iwobi again. And Timothy Castagna was ahead of him, but Iwobi moved back infield. And Fulham looking to respond to going behind. Paulina here finds Castagna. It was his cross that was cut out by goalkeeper there, Raya. Rajendra says, "Hi, Rich, looks like I missed that goal." Yeah, you did. It was an early goal again. There was an early goal in this game at the Emirates. There was an early goal here in this fixture last season, wasn't it? We went on to win that game 3-0, if you remember, quite comfortably, which we could do with today as well. We've got a good start. That goal from Bukayo Saka after just, 5 minutes or so of this game. Our first real attack, actually. And it was a counter-attack. Anyway, Fulham now coming forward again up this near side with Castagna. Plays it back into Decod over Reed. Fulham playing some good football here. And it comes back out to Castagna, knocks it back in at midfield to Paulina, plays it square to defender Tosin. Got a little bit of space to move forward. And he plays it out to that far side. And now it's Willian right over on that far touchline on the left-hand side for Fulham. Twisting and turning, trying to get away from Ben White. He's got the ball again. Willian touches it off. This is good play from Fulham, actually. But it's all in front of Arsenal at the minute. There's no real dangers at the moment. Castagna now on this near side finds Decod over Reed. Tries to go past QER. Good defending there by the big pole. It's going to be a Frodo to Fulham on this near side in line with the Arsenal penalty area. Mark C says, "You arrived just at the right time." So he did indeed, didn't he? Just as we scored, which was good, wasn't it? Anyway, the ball's played back now to Alex Iwobi for Fulham. And Fulham just having a good spell of possession here, actually. Since the goal, they've been, Arsenal been quite happy to let Fulham have the ball. And they're knocking it around quite comfortably here. They have got some very good technical players, haven't they, Fulham? That's a good ball played through, looking to get Jimenez in behind. But David Raya has come out and collected that ball without too many problems. David Raya is in blue today, which is a slightly strange combination when we've got green and blue kit. Anyway, Terry says, "Good job, have number 29's back. We're much better when we start the game with 10 men." Well, I mean, he didn't play the other night and we were terrible. He's playing today and we've already scored and leading 1-0 very early in this game. Like, Fulham get stuck into a challenging midfield. They're coming forward now. This is good play. Gabriel then is a little bit too strong there, actually. Was it Iwobi that he pushed over? Was he at, I don't think Gabriel was at Arsenal when Iwobi was there, was he, actually? I think he came after. Anyway, Arsenal have won a free kick now, midway inside their own half. And it was a good tackle there from Paulinho, actually on Kai Havertz it was. Actually, maybe it was a foul looking at it in slow motion. Anyway, it wasn't given as a foul. Terry says it all came on as nearly a division. Oh, okay. So you didn't miss the goal then. That's good then. You had to reset your internet. Maybe playing a bit early in future, so get in early. Anyway, also coming forward again. QER's done well up this near side. It's a good ball forward as well to Gabriel Martinelli. It was his shot that led to the first goal. Martinelli's cross. That's a poor cross, though. That's easy for Bert Leno, who's in a sort of a salmony red kit today for Fulham with yellow trim. I felt he was unlucky to get his place lost at Arsenal, actually. I think he's a very decent goalkeeper, Bert Leno. Oh, that's a flick on there. Almost put Fulham in. It was Jimenez with the header. But in the end, Arsenal do defend that pretty well. We've got the early goal. So you do feel from this point here, we should go on and win this game. But it doesn't always work. We did score very early on at Liverpool, didn't we? And yes, you could say that's a much tougher game. Of course, it is a much tougher game. But there's no easy game in the Premier League these days, is there? Especially away from home. You've got to be switched on. If you remember the Luton game, anyway, Tottenham have scored against Bournemouth as well. It's Sarr with the goal after 9 minutes for them. So Tottenham lead against informed Bournemouth. That's a tough game for Tottenham today, isn't it? Bournemouth are a very good side, playing really well. So, but they are winning 1-0 very early on in this game. Terry says, "What time do you call this, Rajendra? Late again." Richard all in the chat. Don't tell him I was late. He knows you was late, Terry. Rajendra says, "There more likes, more goals." Indeed, yeah. Get your likes in so that we can get another goal. Arsenal coming forward now on that far side. Ben White, it is, plays the ball back into Declan Rice, pings it in to Eddie Nketiah, I think it was, who's lost the ball. I don't know if it was Bukayo Saka, actually. Anyway, Iwobi's now picked it up for Fulham. And that's a foul on Decod over Reed by Gabriel. And it's going to be a free kick to Fulham on this near side. Paulina takes it quickly. It's still Fulham 0, Arsenal 1. The early goal from Bukayo Saka is all that separates the teams in a game. A fixture where we've generally done well over the years against Fulham, especially away from home. We don't lose here very often, do we, at Craven Cottage? We've had some good victories as well over the years, haven't we? Here, and let's hope today is going to be another one of those occasions where we can finish 2023 not only in good form but also back at the top of the hill. That's a good ball in behind, actually. It's a good run here by Decod over Reed. Ball comes into Castagna again, who's far forward, and now this is a chance for Arsenal to come forward again and exploit that space. But Kai Havertz has been fouled, and that was actually a sensible foul there by Paulinho, because again it was good forward play there by Fulham. They're playing some nice football here, actually. They don't really have too much end product at the moment, but an Arsenal counter-attack there was stopped by the foul on Kai Havertz by Paulinho. Gabriel is going to take this free kick for Arsenal, left-footed. In fact, he's not. He's going to leave it to goalkeeper David Raya. It's about, 25 yards outside the Arsenal penalty area. David Raya is going to take this free kick, goes long up the near side, over hit slightly, and Timothy Castagna wins their header unchallenged. Iwobi brings the ball down well, actually, for Fulham. Tries to go past Gabriel. He's not able to do so. But Gabriel's ball forward is cleared away by Tosin at the back for Fulham. And Arsenal now trying to come forward themselves. Kai Havertz loses out, though. And Castagna plays it back to the goalkeeper, Bernd Leno. A very ex-Arsenal feel about this Fulham team, isn't there? Anyway, that's a long ball up that near side. That's a far side, so that's a good ball. But Fulham can't keep it in. In fact, it was an offside anyway, and it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Terry says, is 29 playing or just taking root? Well, I think he's there, isn't he? Anyway, Mark C says, for once, we hit a team on the break and make it count. Given the speed we have in the team, we haven't done it enough this season. No, you're right. I mean, we're generally not a counter-attacking team because we generally have more possession. And Mikel Arteta wants to play a possession-based game. And when you do, you don't tend to get as many opportunities to counter-attack as you do if you're more prepared to let the other team have the ball. And sometimes away from home, maybe that's what we need to do more of, counter-attack. Because you're right, we do have the pace to make it count. And we did on that particular occasion. And maybe that's what we need to do a little bit more in this game, and also, like you said, maybe going forward as well, because it's all very well having loads of possession, but it gives the other team, then it's encouraging the other team to sit deep, isn't it? And have that low block, which we struggle with. Whereas if you allow the other team to have the ball and come out, there's going to be spacing behind on a counter-attack, isn't it? Which is what we exploit. Anyway, Fulham are coming forward now. This is a good move, actually. There's space on that far side. Ball comes into the edge of the box. Jimenez, good save. Really good save there from David Raya. That was a quick counter-attack by Fulham. They have played some nice football in this game so far. You have to say it was Willian with the ball. I think it was Tom Kearney on the overlap there, and it fell to Jimenez. In fact, it was Robertson, sorry. It fell to Jimenez on the edge of the box, hit it first time. It was fairly close to David Raya, but that's a decent save down to his left-hand side. And again, David Raya is producing another good moment, which he's had a few of recently. He's starting to really settle in, isn't he, in the Arsenal goal? And the doubters maybe now are starting to think, well, maybe he's actually all right. Anyway, Arsenal trying to come forward now on that far side, and it's a free kick to Arsenal. It was Batty there with the foul on Eddie Nketiah, who tried to just turn away there from the Fulham defender. No doubt that's a foul. Terry says, save Raya. Mark C says, fortunately, very close to him. It's a save he should make. No, you're right. It's definitely a save he should make. But he got down well and held on to it. So I think it was a good save in the circumstances. It's what he's there to do. It's his job. And it was a good save, yeah. Nathan says they're playing well here for the minute. They are. They're playing some really nice football, aren't they? Really nice football. But so far they lack any real cutting edge. That's their first real shot on target, isn't it? That Jimenez just had. We played 15 minutes. Arsenal now in possession over on the far side. Declan Rice just plays it square to Kiwior. Now Gabriel up this near side. Plays it on to Gabriel Martinelli. He's going to have a run at Decod over Reed. Gets to the byline, pulls it back to the near post. But Fulham do deal with that. And now Decod over Reed has just been fouled by Gabriel Shorley there. And the referee is going to give a free kick to Fulham. Good play there for Martinelli again. He's had a good start to this game, hasn't he? Got an assist for the goal. Did well there. Got to the byline. tried to pull the ball back towards that near post area. No Arsenal player was attacking it anyway, but it was a good ball, and Fulham managed to scramble it clear. Terry says, I see where Bayern are interested in 400 million players in the January transfer. Yeah, well, we need to spend at least 400 million, don't we, to get a team that can compete. Because everybody knows we've not spent enough money yet to have a team that can actually win anything. Anyway, there's a bit of head tennis going on at the moment. 3 or 4 headers in a row. Oh, and a mistake there by Kiwior. And now Castagna can come forward up this near side. Good run from the Portuguese player. Plays a cross in. He's Belgium, isn't he, Castagna? Tried to find Willian, and it was just cleared away there at the far post by Bukayo Saka, and the boys now got all the way back through to Bernd Leno. But a mistake there from Kiwior, and Castagna's got clear. He's done well down this near side, Timothy Castagna, for Fulham in the attacking sense. He's got forward well, creating that overload on this near side. I think maybe Fulham prepared for Zinchenko being there, so they've tried to attack more down this near side. But anyway, obviously he's not playing today, and we haven't really looked like conceding a goal so far. I don't know if the two things are connected. Anyway, Fulham play some really, really good football. They're coming forward again here now, up that far side. Really good football again from Fulham. Willian in possession, cuts in field. The Brazilian maybe took too long there. The ball taken off him there by, I don't know who that was. Was it Declan Rice? Anyway, Saka's there just been dispossessed by Anthony Robinson. He's played the ball forward to Raul Jimenez just on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Or he tried to thread the ball through the run of Alex Iwobi. Good covering though by William Saliba, and Arsenal back in possession. You have to say, Fulham look like they've got a goal or two in them today. Rajendra says, was that not a yellow card stopping their attack? It wasn't given as a yellow card. No, they are the sort of fouls that generally get a yellow card and probably deservedly so, I think. But that one wasn't. Maybe is it because it's early in the game? Not that it should make any difference, but not the referees are like. The referee actually today is someone called Josh Smith, who I've never heard of before. So I'm guessing he's one of the newer referees that's been promoted from the Championship. But because he's not a woman, or because he's white, he's not been mentioned as a new referee. Suddenly be giving an opportunity. But I've not heard of him before. I don't know if he's refed in the Premier League before. Anyway, Fulham now coming forward with Raul Jimenez over on that far side. That's a good ball. Alex Iwobi on this near side. Oh, it just ran away a little bit from Iwobi. Maybe the pass was slightly overhit, but Iwobi's going to get a cross in. He does get a cross in. All the way it comes to Willian over on the far post. Willian for Fulham. Oh, he puts it just wide. Wouldn't he love a goal today, Willian for Fulham? That's another really good attack. Incisive play that was from Fulham. The ball from Jimenez maybe gave Iwobi a little bit wider than he wanted to be, but he's put a decent cross in Iwobi. And Jimenez was trying to get on the end of it. Couldn't do it. Fell to Willian, and he tried to curl it into that far post. And we've seen him do that before, not so much for Arsenal, but certainly when he played for Chelsea. And that's gone just wide. Nathan says, being played at a nice tempo. It is. It's a good game. It's an open game, isn't it? Fulham are playing some really, really good football. Really impressed with how they've played, you have to say. But they are losing 1-0. And Arsenal, apart from the goal, we haven't really threatened, have we? Let's be honest. We haven't really got going too much. And we're trying to play around at the back there, and we almost... get ourselves in a bit of a muddle there, but Raya clears the ball away, and now Batsy plays it back to the Fulham goalkeeper, Bernd Leno. Now it's with Tosin, the centre-back for Fulham, brings the ball forward towards halfway. Actually took too long, but he gets away with that there, actually. Eddie Nketiah got the ball off him, but it's fell to Paulino in midfield. And sorry, Decordova Reid it was. In midfield for Fulham. Now it's Paulino on the ball. Finds Tosin again. Again, this is nice football from Fulham. They're comfortable on the ball, aren't they? All of their players. They're knocking the ball around well, playing some nice stuff. But they are definitely lacking a cutting edge. But they'll certainly feel they're in this game. It's only 1-0, and they've had some bright moments without really testing David Raya too much. Just that one shot from Raul Jimenez, which brought the save. And as we said, it was a comfortable save for the goalkeeper. It's a save you'd expect a goalkeeper to make. Anyway, that's a long ball played up that far side. It's Anthony Robinson coming forward again. Their fullbacks like to get forward, don't they? It's a good cross into the box, but it's far too close to William Saliba. But he takes too long. William Saliba, it's come to Willian on the edge of the box, cutting in, looking for the opportunity to shoot. It's blocked by Kiwior. Comes back again to Alex Iwobi, and it's deflected behind. It is going to be a corner to Fulham, and they really are putting us under pressure. I think Fulham are claiming what was they claiming there? A foul. Oh, they're claiming a penalty there on Decordova-Reid. William Saliba was a bit sloppy there, actually. Thought he had more time than he did. And Decordova-Reid pinched the ball off him. Maybe he did catch him. I don't know whether VAR are checking this. We could be in a spot of bother here because Decordova-Reid pinched the ball away. And you saw the penalty yesterday that Aston Villa got. Very, very similar to that. But I don't think VAR have intervened here. William Saliba, a little bit sloppy there. It is a corner which Willian is going to take on this near side for Fulham, who have they've certainly probably been the better team overall. That corner comes in. It's Raul Jimenez with the shot, fires it over the crossbar. 4 goals this season for Fulham for the Mexican. He struggled to score as many goals as he did before his injury, doesn't he? He still wears that little protective band around his head. That was a horrible injury, wasn't it? It came, of course, against Arsenal at the Emirates during that COVID season. It was David Luiz, wasn't it? He had a clash of heads with. Sickening collision that was. And he was out for a very long time. And also coming forward again now, Eddie Nketiah plays out to the far side. Bukayo Saka, he's got Martin Odegaard outside and cuts in field, puts a cross in, looking for Eddie Nketiah, headed away by Bassi for Fulham. Arsenal have picked the ball up again. Gabriel on this near side. Plays the ball back to Declan Rice. It goes out to that far side to Bukayo Saka, plays it forward to Martin Odegaard. Martin Odegaard comes back infield. He's going to probably try and find Saka again, is he? Or Declan or Ben White. He finds Ben White, in fact. There's an injury to David Raya. Not quite sure. He's gone down, David Raya. Is it his eye, he's saying? Does he wear contact lenses, David Raya? Is that what it is? I'm not sure. Anyway, he's got some sort of issue with his eye. And Aaron Ramsdale is being called out to warm up. So is this an issue that there was before? Terry says, you can see why Arteta kept wasting all that money on Willian. And when he did go, we replaced him with a 29. It's got to be a tax dodge or something. I mean, Willian was on a free transfer, wasn't he? I mean, I know he had big wages, but it was a free transfer, wasn't it? Anyway, just showing a goal again. Martinelli, good run down this near side. Massive, lots of space for him to go into, because Timothy Castagna was high up the pitch. And it was a decent shot, and it was saved by Leno, and Saka was the one who reacted in the box. And that's the difference sometimes, isn't it? The defence was just, they were just static, the defenders, all standing in a line, appealing for offside, and Saka was able to bobble the ball home. Poor defensively from Fulham. They just stood there. Saka made the movement, and he's got himself another goal. It's his 17th goal of 2023. He's top scorer for Arsenal in this calendar year, and he's going to finish top scorer as well, because I think Martin Odegaard's second on 14. He would need a hat-trick now, wouldn't he? Anyway, David Raya is back on his feet again and is looking as though he's going to be able to continue. Aaron Ramsdale is still having a little warm-up on the side, but I'm sure he's not going to be needed, and we're going to have a drop ball. And let's see what's going to happen here. They just put a stat up there that since the goal, Fulham have had 4 shots and Arsenal have had none, but it's irrelevant, really, isn't it? Because we've got the goal, so Fulham need to score, don't they? Nathan says, I know Fulham have not had many clear-cut opportunities, but need to be careful. I mean, I think Fulham are playing well, actually. They're looking a good side. Very, very comfortable in possession of the ball. They're moving it well. They're just lacking that. I say they're lacking that cutting edge, aren't they? Just that one real chance that they had. I mean, Willian had that shot wide as well. But yeah, it's been a good performance from Fulham. Nathan says a second goal would be good. Great. Yeah, I mean, we need the second goal. Obviously, these are the sort of games, aren't they, where you don't get the second goal and it just creates more pressure, doesn't it? Because Fulham will believe they're still in this game. Well, they are still in this game. Absolutely, they've played well. So, yeah, we do definitely need a second goal. With 25 minutes played, it is still Fulham 0, Arsenal 1. That very, very early goal from Bukayo Saka. And Arsenal looking to just bounce back from that really, really poor performance the other night against West Ham. And so far, so good with the lead. But a long way to go in this game. And I say Fulham have done enough here so far to suggest that they could still get something from this game, definitely. Or just giving the ball away there sloppily in midfield. Martinelli has to come back and work hard to win it back for Arsenal, which he does. It looks as though Decordova Reid was going to have an opportunity there, but good defensive play there from Gabriel Martinelli. Poor play in midfield. Was it Kirill that maybe gave the ball away with a poor pass? And again, you see, when you're playing a defender, when you're dropping a defender into midfield, most defenders aren't really good at doing that job, are they? Because that's why they play in defence. So, you know, it is a risky formation. And yeah, you know, I said on the show the other night, you know, I don't necessarily just blame Zinchenko. The system doesn't help, but yeah, obviously Zinchenko has to do better when he's there, quite honestly. But anyway, Fulham now coming forward again over on that far side. Again, that's a good ball. And again, it's Robinson getting clear. So the two fullbacks really are high up the pitch, aren't they? His cross there is deflected behind. It's going to be a throw to Fulham. It was Ben White who got the block in there. It is a throw to Fulham, which Anthony Robinson, the American, is going to take. So it's a risky formation for Fulham as well, isn't it? To put their fullbacks on it. Cost them that first goal as well, didn't it? With Timothy Castagna on this near side. And I say Anthony Robinson's really high up the pitch as well. Anyway, Fulham now in possession with Alex Iwobi. He's looked good in his first 27 minutes today, hasn't he? A lot of the ball, used it well. Almost created a goal as well earlier, didn't he? With some good play. Anyway, Fulham are still in possession again. They're good in tight areas as well, Fulham, aren't they? They're certainly very, very comfortable on the ball. Well-coached team this is. You can tell the work that's gone on the changing rooms. Iwobi there again trying to play the ball forward. It was cut out, but Arsenal have briefly won it back. But Paulinho was in there. And Castagna in the end goes back to Bernd Leno. Mark C says he got stuck into that Martinelli. He did, yeah. He was straight in there, wasn't he? Good challenge it was. Nathan says Rice has played a couple of lovely passes through their lines. He has. That's what he's good at, isn't he? You know, Fulham have just given the ball away, and Eddie Nketiah there can't beat the defender Bassi. I think it was now. Willian over on the far side. He's got a runner ahead of him. He's found the ball here. He's played into the box. It's going to be a chance for Jimenez, and Jimenez has scored. And it's Fulham this time who have scored on a counter attack. It is Raul Jimenez, and having got his injury against Arsenal, I'm sure he's enjoyed that moment now. He took it well. It was an overload over on that far side. It was Willian played the ball. I'm not sure who put the cross in, actually. It may well have been Robinson again. And Jimenez appears at the far post to tuck it in. And that is, it was Eddie Nketiah, actually, was a bit weak there. He was tackled. It was a strong tackle. I think it was Bassi. And then suddenly Fulham had an overload there. It was a lovely play by Willian. Nobody picked up the runner there. It was a decent cross. And Raul Jimenez at the far post, first time finish. Goalkeeper had no chance there. That's a good counter-attacking goal from Fulham. And it is Fulham 1, Arsenal 1. And that is a well-taken goal from the Mexican there. His fifth goal of the season. He's now the top scorer. Actually, it was Saka that lost the ball. It wasn't Eddie Nketiah. I apologise, Eddie. It wasn't you, my friend. It was Bukayo Saka there. And Willian played the ball through there. It was a good goal. I think it was Paulinho with a cross. And that's a good goal from Fulham. You have to say, a really good goal. And, you know, obviously it's not a great goal from an Arsenal perspective, but I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Jimenez. Even before his injury, I thought he's a great player. And obviously the injury was terrible. It's good to see him back playing again and scoring goals. And that's his fifth in his last 7 appearances. Mark says he's right there. He says terrible defending. Yeah, it was. It wasn't great defending at all, was it? There was a massive gap there. Rajendra says it looks like we are playing counter-attack. Well, it looks like both teams are there because both goals have been counter-attacking goals, haven't they? We lost the ball. Fulham lost the ball. We scored, and then we've lost the ball, and Fulham have scored. It kind of sums up this game, actually. It's been a good game to watch. And that's one of the reasons why, because it has been so counter-attacking, hasn't it? But yeah, it was really poor defending from Arsenal. There's no doubt about that. We left ourselves far too open over on that far side. Willian, it was a good ball. There was a load of space, though, for Paulinho, I think it was, who whipped that cross in. And no one had really picked up the run of Raul Jimenez at the far post, and he took it well. Nathan says a good ball, to be honest. He knew Jimenez would be there. It was a great ball, yeah. And it was good movement from Jimenez as well to get there. Terry says, I thought we was just playing crap. Well, I don't know. I think we've been playing okay. You know, we got the early goal in, and you're always tempted tonight to maybe sit back a little bit. Martinelli's just been fouled there by Castagna. Actually, he's gone through the back of him, and it may well be a yellow card. He won the ball, but he did go through the back of him. And it wasn't a yellow card. Also taking a free kick, and it's over on that far side. It was Bukayo Saka, who was just wasn't quite strong enough in the challenge there, was he? With I think it was with Calvin Bassey at the back for Fulham. That's what started that counter-attack. And then suddenly we just had gaps all over the place, and Fulham took advantage of that. But they've played some good football, Fulham. Arsenal trying to come forward again to regain that lead that we got very early in this game from Bukayo Saka. Again, Martinelli's had a good game. He's won the ball back. Martin Ødegaard plays over to that far side. Good defending, though, from Anthony Robinson. Comes back to Ødegaard. Looking to try and get a shot in again, but that wasn't a great ball. And Alex Iwobi can clear it away. And that's a foul there on Raul Jimenez. And it is going to be a free kick to Fulham. The Fulham fans are screaming for a yellow card, but yeah, it was William Saliba, it was. But you have to say that there's been a couple of fouls that Fulham players could have got a yellow card for already. I mean, yes, that is. It's probably not a yellow card, is it? It's just a foul. And Jimenez has gone down. The Fulham goal scorer is Fulham 1, Arsenal 1. We've played nearly 32 minutes here at Craven Cottage this afternoon. It's been a very good game, the final game of 2023. And Arsenal have got some work to do again in this game, as we have in recent games. I say only one win in our last 5 games coming into this. We do need a win today. Terry says, Nelly getting stuck in today. I'm liking this from you. He's playing well, Martinelli. Maybe boosted by the assist he got for the goal very early on in this game. But yeah, he's. I think maybe, has he been told he's got to improve because his performances haven't been good enough, have they, recently? Anyway, the ball played out to the far side. Bukayo Saka, the Arsenal goal scorer, faced with Anthony Robertson, plays it in field to Martin Ødegaard. Now it's with Kai Havertz on the edge of the Fulham penalty area, finds Martinelli on this near side. 2 players come across, including Alex Iwobi, who's played it back to Jacob Kiwior. He goes square to Declan Rice, plays it on to Martin Ødegaard, gets it back. Declan Rice, and now he plays up this near side. This is better from Arsenal. Nice possession. It's Martinelli again. Cuts in field, puts a cross in towards the far post. It looked like it was overhit. Saka heads it back into the penalty area, but the ball runs into the arms of Bernd Leno. Eddie Nketiah couldn't get on the end of it. That was better from Arsenal. Martinelli, it was there with a cross. Look, it overhit it actually, but Saka was there, headed it back down, came to Martin Ødegaard, and it was in fact Eddie's shot. It looked like it was a. First of all, the defender won it back. It did fall to Eddie, but it was kind of deflected a little bit into the arms of Bernd Leno. But Fulham coming forward again. You can't take your eyes off this game for a minute, can you? There's so much going on. Really good attacking play from both teams. And Fulham are certainly deserved to be level. There's no question about that. They've probably been the better team. They've played the better football in this first half. Well, in this first 33 minutes. And it is Fulham 1, Arsenal 1. And Arsenal have got a lot of work to do. Kiwior's taken a long time with his throw-in. And if we were winning this game and it was in the second half, we'd have got booked by now because he's taken probably half a minute to throw that ball. Anyway, Eddie Nketiah got it, but it wasn't a great clearance actually from Tosin, I think it was. But again, Fulham have won the ball back, and they've won the throw on this near side as well of Paulinho, who's a very, very good midfield player, isn't he? There was, of course, rumours of Arsenal being interested in buying him, wasn't there, earlier on this year, but that never quite happened, did it? He's a very good player, isn't he? Paulinho for Fulham. Not that that's an area we necessarily need to strengthen too much. We've got other priorities, haven't we? Anyway, Willian with the ball. That's a good ball. There's a bit of space here on this near side for Raul Jimenez, a goal scorer. Keeps the ball in. Can Fulham create something else here? Raul Jimenez cuts back infield, finds Alex Iwobi. It was a good ball from Willian, actually, who's had a good game as well, you have to say. That's a nice bit of play there from Bassey. Finds Tosin, the 2 Fulham centre-backs combining there. Now it's Alex Iwobi on this near side. He's got a funny running style, Alex Iwobi, hasn't he? He looks like he's putting lots of effort in to not move very far. But anyway, he's had a good game so far. And Fulham have won a throw on this near side off Gabriel. It's midway inside the Arsenal half. We have played 35 minutes. It's been a good game. Fulham have played well. And Arsenal, got some work to do here if we're going to win this game. William again now over on that far side. Plays the ball up the line looking for Anthony Robinson. Good covering there, though, by Ben White. Gets the ball back to David Raya, and Arsenal deal with that problem. And now Arsenal can come forward again. Kai Havertz lets the ball run across his body, so he's got some space now to bring Arsenal forward. Martinelli's gone clear ahead of him over on this near side. Didn't play the ball maybe when he could have done there, Kai Havertz. And the momentum's gone out of this attack a little bit. He's falls back to Jacob Kiwior. Gets it back again. Kai Havertz is now into Declan Rice. pings the ball forward, looking for Eddie Nketiah. Good defending actually again there by Bassi, I think it was, and Fulham again playing some neat and tidy football. And yeah, even trying to play it out from the back. Look at this, that's great stuff from Fulham. And that's with Anthony Robinson over on that far side. Now it's into Alex Iwobi, and now it's with Willian over on the far side. This is really good play from Fulham. They've played some great stuff in this game, you have to say. Really, really exciting stuff to watch. Fulham in possession of the ball again. Alex Iwobi lays it off, and Fulham have gone into the Arsenal half now. It's with Bassi, plays it up this near side. Oh, that's not a great ball, though. It's not going to be kept in. Or is it going to be kept in? No, it isn't. It's going to be a throw to Arsenal. That was a poor ball, actually. Timothy Castagna couldn't keep that in for Fulham. Of course, tomorrow night, it is the first game of 2024, Liverpool versus Newcastle. Of course, Liverpool will be looking to go back to the top in that game, regardless of what we do today. Of course, we would go top tonight if we win this game. We'll end the year on top of the table, but of course, Liverpool will have the chance tomorrow against an out-of-form Newcastle. You would imagine at Anfield they'll probably win that game, but you never know. There's been a few shock results this season, hasn't there? Teams are dropping points unexpectedly, so who knows? But let's not worry too much about that. Let's just win this game first. That's the most important thing, isn't it? We do our job, and we don't need to worry about other teams so much, do we? All we can do is we can only control what we can control, which is our performances and our results on the pitch. And then if we keep winning our games, then the rest of it takes care of itself. Anyway, Saka, the Arsenal goal scorer, goes around the outside of Robinson. It's a good cross towards the far post. In fact, it's overhit. It's going to go out for a throw to Fulham. We have played 37.5 minutes. Terry says there, good job, Robinson and White have different colour shirts on. Otherwise, it must be like looking in a mirror. Oh, dear. Anyway, Castagna's going to take this throw on this near side. Nathan says there, Fulham posing Arteta some questions. You know, they are. They're playing well, absolutely. They look a really good team. You know, but you look at the way they play today. You look at some of the players that they've got in their team, and you think to yourself, why aren't they higher up the league? You've got teams like Brighton who are higher up the league, and Fulham are just as good as Brighton, I think, in terms of the players that they've got and the way they play. So I'm quite surprised they maybe they've underperformed a little bit this season. I've not watched them too much, actually. Of course, they did get a good result at the Emirates. Martin Odegaard's just been fouled, and he's just getting back to his feet again. It is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Like he got a whack in the chest there. Was he winded a little bit there, Martin Odegaard? Anyway, it is going to be Martin Odegaard to take this free kick when he recovers his composure following that foul on him there. It's midway inside the Fulham half, just slightly over to this left-hand side. Very similar to the sort of area where we scored the free kick at Liverpool last weekend. It was Martin Odegaard's free kick. It was headed in by Gabriel. Very similar situation. This is here. Can we get a similar result? Martin Odegaard's ball. It's a good ball. This time it's headed out. Comes to Martinelli on the edge of the box. Tried a shot there, blocked by the Fulham defence. And now they're trying to get it clear. And in fact, Raul Jimenez has kept it in over on that far side. Pushed Saka out of the way again. That's twice Bukayo Saka's been pushed off the ball. But Arsenal won it back. Only temporarily, though, in fact. It's a free kick now to Fulham. Saka was complaining he was fouled there by Raul Jimenez. I'm not sure if he was. Saka was trying to let the ball run out of play. Or maybe he was pushed in the back, actually. And Raul Jimenez managed to keep it in. Maybe that should have been a foul, actually, anyway. It wasn't given. It is a free kick to Fulham. Nathan says consistency. Well, obviously, yeah, it is. Obviously, they don't play as well. I mean, they may well play as well as this most games, but it's turning good play into goals at the right times, isn't it? I mean, I say they had 2 big 5-0 wins at home recently, so they can do it. But yeah, consistency is the issue, no doubt. Terry says, "Oh no, Odegaard's gone down. His hair's out of place." Yeah, the Disney Prince. There's another foul there by Fulham. It was Robinson. I mean, he kind of won the ball first, and his knee ended up going into the chest of Eddie Nketiah. Is going to be a free kick to Arsenal, which we've taken over on that far side. 5 minutes to go until half time. There shouldn't be a lot of stoppage time because the game flowed really well. Obviously, Raya had a little injury, didn't he? He had to get some treatment. But other than that, the game flowed really well. So let's see. We've got Annie in the chat there says, yes, you can do this, Arsenal. Well, yeah, I'm sure we can do it, but we've got more work to do. It is 1-1. And Fulham are coming forward again with Calvin Bassey over on that far side. Plays the ball back to Robinson, who's had a decent game at left back for Fulham, the American. Sometimes he's been on a few occasions I've watched Fulham, sometimes he makes some defensive mistakes, but he's very good going forward. I wonder what sort of left back that reminds you of. Anyway, Fulham can't keep the ball in on this near side. That was a poor ball from Castagna, and it's going to be a throw to Arsenal. 4 minutes to go until half time. Gabriel Jesus is warming up. Are we going to see a half-time substitution from Arsenal? That would be unusual, wouldn't it? I mean, I'd say it doesn't tend to make changes too early unless he has to. It doesn't appear to be an injury. Not that Eddie Nketiah has had any impact in this game at all. In fact, he's had zero impact. Wouldn't be surprised if he's had the least touches on the pitch, Eddie Nketiah. And he certainly made no impact whatsoever. Anyway, Arsenal are trying to come forward now as we approach half-time. Can Arsenal turn this around? Well, not turn it around. We need to get ourselves back in front. Mark C says there, we started fast and it worked. Since the goal, we've slowed it down and got into maintain 100% possession mode. Yeah, we have, yeah. And it's not worked because, you know, Fulham have scored a goal, which they fully deserved. Anyway, Declan Rice now plays it into Martin Odegaard inside the box. Shot comes in just wide. Oh, it was Gabriel Martinelli there. That's a good chance. He should hit the target there, actually. The ball came to him there. Was it Martin Odegaard? I think it was Saka initially. Declan Rice found Odegaard, played it to Martinelli, and that beat the goalkeeper, Bert Leno, but rolled the wrong side of that far post. That's a big chance that is for Arsenal to go back in front here. And it's just gone wide of the post. Oh, that's another big chance for Arsenal missed. And Terry says, Nelly, indeed, yeah, he should hit the target there. It's a good chance that. And it's gone past the post. And is that Arsenal's best chance to get in front before half-time? Yeah, William Saliba's Gabriel's being put under pressure there from Decordova-Reid, but manages to get the ball back to David Raya. We are into the last couple of minutes of this first half. It's been a very good first half to watch. There's been some great football played, more by Fulham, you have to say. Arsenal had one or two moments, but I think Fulham have been a better team in this first half, and they certainly deserve to be at 1-1. And Arsenal have got a lot of work to do now still to win this game, which is so important. We can't afford to drop points again. It'll be 3 games in a row without a win in the Premier League. And so we've only won 1 of our last 5 as it is anyway. You know, Fulham again coming forward with Alex Iwobi up this near side, finds Decordova-Reid. Well, that was a bit of a loose ball in midfield. Paulinho tries to win it back when the ball's broken to Kai Havertz. Arsenal now have a chance again after a turnover of possession. Brilliant defending again from Fulham, you have to say. Is that Bassi again? He's an absolute beast at the back, isn't he, for Fulham? Calvin Bassi, he's brought the ball 40 yards up the pitch as well. Brilliant play from him. And he finds Alex Iwobi, and suddenly Fulham now coming forward again. Willian over on that far side. He was important, played an important part in Fulham's goal, didn't he, Willian, the former Chelsea and Arsenal player. Anthony Robinson over on that far side dinks the ball in. But Arsenal managed to pick possession up again with Bukayo Saka, but only as far as Paulinho. Now it's with Tosin. He's going to try a shot from distance, and that's a poor effort. It's gone harmlessly wide of the post. We hit the last minute of the first half. It is Fulham 1, Arsenal 1. Henry's in the chat here, my friend. He says, top of the morning to all you Gooners. Happy New Year when it comes. Indeed, and yourself, my friend. Happy New Year to you. And hopefully it'll be a happy New Year for Arsenal if we can win this game. But so far, that's not been the case at all. Fulham have played really, really well. Anyway, we are into the last few seconds here of this first half. Martinelli bringing the ball forward for Arsenal, very central. Plings it out to that far side. It's going to reach Saka, and no, it isn't, because Willian steps in. He's been good in his first half for Fulham. Still got a lot of legs left in him, hasn't he? He's in his 30s now. Willian, that's a decent ball into the box as well, headed away by Gabriel at full stretch. And Willian's trying to win it back again. He's certainly up for this game, isn't he? You can understand why. Maybe got a point or two to prove, hasn't he? And again, Fulham have won the ball back in midfield, but it breaks now to Martinelli, and he's just had it taken off him. In fact, it's a free kick to Arsenal as we reach the 45-minute mark. Let's see what the stoppage time is going to be. There probably won't be an awful lot. 4 minutes? Where have they got 4 minutes from? Oh, I suppose the David Raya injury, maybe. That might have been the reason why. Anyway, we've got 4 minutes of stoppage time. It is Fulham 1, Arsenal 1. And Arsenal coming forward again, trying to regain the lead. Saka plays the ball on, looking for the run there of Ben White on the overlap. Anthony Robinson defends well again, actually. But Martin Odegaard's now in possession for Arsenal. Plays the ball into the box. It wasn't a great ball. Cut out easily there by Bassi. And now Fulham looking for a counter-attack again. Touched off there by Jimenez to Willian. Plays it forward again. There's some space over on that far side, but David Raya is out quickly. Wasn't a great clearance, but he did his job he had to do there. David Raya came out quickly to deal with that, or Jimenez may well have been in again. He did score at the Fulham equaliser midway through this first half. Arsenal now looking to come forward. Eddie Nketiah inside the penalty area, tries a shot. It's gone wide at the near post. And that is the difference there, isn't it, between having a top striker. In fact, he may well have been offside anyway, and he scored. He just turned away there, but the finish was terrible. He rather snatched at that. And it was a tight angle, but it went in, hit some fans behind the goal. And we have played a minute and a half of the for a stoppage time at the end of this first half. It is still Fulham 1, Arsenal 1, and you have to say that's probably a fair reflection of this first half. Fulham have played some really good stuff. Without too much of a cutting edge, Arsenal have huffed and puffed a little bit after the great start that we had. We've sat back, as we mentioned already, and we paid the price. It was a turnover of possession and we conceded a goal. Kai Havertz now trying to put Arsenal on the front foot. Eddie Nketiah on his near side keeps the ball in. He's not maybe made any impact really in his first half, has he? A start for him today. Hasn't really grabbed that opportunity, has he, with both hands, you have to say. And Arsenal looking just to keep the ball for a bit, because we've not maybe had as much of the possession of the ball as we would expect to have had. Terry says, oh dear, Eddie Murphy. Mark C says, we've not created enough in attack. No, we haven't, but we might do here. Martin Odegaard twists and turns, gets a cross in, comes to the edge of the penalty area to Gabriel Martinelli. He's got two Fulham players in front of him, so he has to go back to Gabriel. He won't be working hard to try and close the play down. Declan Rice steps in for Arsenal. Manages to keep possession. It's now with Gabriel again. Nathan says, Jesus on at half-time. Maybe it will be. Anne says, Happy New Year's to you, and Happy New Year to yourself as well. Nathan says, need to be testing a keeper there. Indeed, yeah. Absolutely does need to be, yeah. Or at least maybe we had an option inside. He could have played the ball across. Anyway, into the last couple of minutes now at the end of this first half. Arsenal are in possession with Gabriel. Brings the ball forward. Needs a bit of support. He's found Gabriel Martinelli on this near side. Plays it infield to Declan Rice. Is he going to try a shot? He does try a shot, but it's high and wide. And it's going to be a goal kick to Fulham. At least he was like wanting to have a shot. And sometimes it's worth having a ping, isn't it, from distance? You might as well give it a go, because as we said the other night against West Ham, we didn't maybe do that enough, did we? We were trying to almost walk the ball in the net at times. So it was. I've got no problem with Declan having a shot there. It wasn't a great shot, and it's gone high and wide. But I would rather have a shot. And you know, you never know. Anything can happen. Terry says Jesus on for Nelly. No, I don't know. I think Nelly's played all right. I would obviously Eddie's done nothing, has he? Eddie's just had no impact at all on this game whatsoever. And I would definitely be looking at taking him off. I don't think it'll happen at half time. We are into the final, well, we'd say the final minute there. We've actually reached half time. The whistle has gone, and it is Fulham 1, Arsenal 1. Arsenal started really well. We got a goal after it was just 3 or 4 minutes, wasn't it? It was a counter-attack. Across from Timothy Castagna for Fulham was too close to Raya, and suddenly we had a counter-attacking opportunity. Martinelli had loads of space on this near side, Arsenal's left, used it well, cut infield, got his shot in. Bernd Leno pushed it out, and Saka was there. The Fulham defence was standing in a line, appealing for offside in very Arsenal-like fashion. But he was onside, Saka, and he managed to bundle the ball into the corner. And we got the perfect start, but we wasn't able to build on that. We was not able to build on that at all. And Fulham played some really good football in that first half and deservedly got themselves level. It was Raul Jimenez with the goal. Arsenal lost the ball. It was Saka, actually. He had it taken off him by Calvin Bassey. He found Willian. There was an overload over on that far side. Paulinho, it was, whipped the first time crossing. A brilliant ball it was. And there was Raul Jimenez at the far post to fire home first time into the corner. And Fulham were level, deservedly so. I think that's probably fair. I think Arsenal have had one or two moments without really creating too much. And Fulham have as well. Fulham have played some good football. I think 1-1 at half time is probably about right. And says, are we in third place half time? We were in fourth before the game, but I suppose if you look at a point that we've got at this moment in time, we may well be third. Let's just have a quick look at the league table. Let's have a look, shall we? So, yeah, as things stand, Arsenal are third, 41 points above Man City, who will have a game in hand. And, of course, Liverpool have a game in hand as well. They'll be a point above us if it finishes like this. So we will see how that works out. But
that hasn't happened in this first half at all.
Oh, what's happening there? Sorry, I've just pressed the wrong button. That was the radio. Tottenham are 1-0 up against Bournemouth as well as they approach half time there. It was Sarr with the goal after 9 minutes. So, yes, not really what we wanted, is it, from that first half? Let's be honest. Mark C says there, are you suggesting we put two strikers on at the same time? Well, we did the other night, didn't we, when we were losing that game? But I don't think that's going to happen, certainly not at half time. Terry says, Arteta won't take Eddie Murphy off. Well, I mean, he might do. Nathan says, I would take Eddie Nketiah off, to be honest. Yeah, I would. He's had little impact on that game. It's very unusual for Mikel Arteta to make a tactical sub at half time. He'll often make a sub if there's an injury. He doesn't often make tactical subs, does he? So we'll see. Eddie Nketiah for me has had zero impact on that game. Really, really. He had that one opportunity which he fired into the crowd. He's not good enough. The bottom line is he's not good enough, is he? If we want to be winning the league, if we want to be winning big trophies and really challenging for these big trophies, Eddie is not good enough. We need somebody better. And I kind of like that. I mean, I've been complaining about this for quite a long time. having quality players on the bench, game changers on the bench who can come on and make a difference. Jesus potentially is that, isn't he? He's a player that who could come on in this game and make a difference. We've got Trossard, and he seems to have had more impact in games he comes off the bench than when he starts. So that's an option as well, isn't it? Obviously, Emil Smith-Rowe, which Terry mentions there, on for Havertz. Well, that's not going to happen, is it? Certainly not at half time. But at least we've got a slightly better option on the bench today. But to create that option, we've had to put Eddie in the team, to put Jesus on the bench, and that's weakened the first team, and sort of strengthen the bench. We need to be in a position where we can make changes, and then the players coming into the team from the bench aren't weakening the team. And then we've got quality players on the bench who can come on and maybe change the game later on if needed. And we're not in that position, despite all the money that we've spent, because we've wasted a lot of that money on players that haven't been good enough, and we've had to already get rid of them. So that's still the problem that we've got. It's been a problem that we've had for the last 2 or 3 years, and we're not going to solve it in January, let's be honest, because I still think we're, 3 or 4 players away from being in that situation. We play pretty much the same starting 11 every week because we don't have the players on the bench that are good enough to not drop the standard of the team when they come in. Kyrgios in today, and he's not done too badly, and you've got to be honest and say Zinchenko's been having a nightmare, so anybody would have been an improvement. And Kyrgios done okay, but when you're looking further up the pitch in the attacking area, Saka has to play every game because we've got nobody who can come in without dropping the level. Martinelli plays every week, because again, we've got no one on the bench who can come in and be better than him. Jesus generally plays because he's only a replacement in Nketiah, and we've seen today he's not good enough. So these are the issues. And even in midfield, we don't really have the, Martin Ødegaard, who can come in for Martin Ødegaard and not drop the level too much. Vieira was the one when he was fit, but he's not good enough. He's not at that level, is he, to be able to do that job? And these are the issues that we've got. So we've got, look at some of the players that we've got on our bench today. And, I'm not trying to disrespect them, but if we want to win the league and we want to win these big trophies, is this the sort of bench that's going to do that? Cedric Suarez, why is he even still here? Jorginho, he's a decent player, but is he the sort of player on the bench that's going to come on and help you? If you're winning, yeah, he can come on and help seal things up for you potentially. El Neni, what's he still doing at the club? El Neni and Cedric are on the bench every game. Why isn't he putting youngsters on the bench instead of them two? Because clearly they've got no future at the club. They're not in the plans. Put some youngsters on the bench instead of them two. Emil Smith-Rowe, I don't know what's happened with him. He's not getting. If he's going to have any impact in the game, Emil Smith-Rowe, he needs to be playing. He needs rhythm, and he's not getting rhythm because he's on the bench all the time. He came on 10 minutes the other night. It's not enough, is it? He's on the bench again today. I doubt he'll come on at all. They're not going to bring him on when the game's at 1-1. He'll get to come on if we're either losing or we're winning 3-0 or 3-1. Nelson, again, similar. He's done okay, Nelson, but he's not a match winner, is he? And then we'll say we've got Trossard and Jesus, who are probably the only two on the bench that can make any difference at all. And let's be honest, those two, are the only two, aren't they, for me, in terms of an attacking sense. Nathan says, bang on, Rich. Well, I hope so, mate, but we need to get it sorted. Mark says, he's off topic, but Gibbs White puts in a shift every game in the Forest midfield. I wouldn't mind seeing him alongside Rice. He's a good player, isn't he, Gibbs White? I do like him. But he looks happy at Forest now, doesn't it? Because, Forest have just got the ex-Wolves manager, Nuno Santos, and he was manager under Gibbs White at Wolves, wasn't he? And I think that, he's probably okay there, isn't he? He's not going to really want to leave, I don't think, at the moment. And is that really a sort of player that we need? I don't know. I'm not saying the midfield couldn't do with some more reinforcements. It absolutely could. But I don't know. I'm not sure about it. I do like Gibbs White. I do think he's a good player, but I'm not sure if he's necessarily what we need at this moment. For me, we need a striker first and foremost. 100% we need a striker. We need to get that sorted straight away. Terry says there, until we get rid of Arteta, we ain't winning nothing. Well, I kind of do agree with you, and I've said this for quite a long time as well, Terry, as you know. Nathan says, for me, you're right about Rice choosing to come here instead of City, for example. Players like Rice are hungry to succeed. Yeah, they are. Absolutely, they are. And I mean, I love Declan Rice. He's already my favourite Arsenal player now by a mile. He's just brilliant, right? But yes, I think he's come to Arsenal for two reasons. He's come to Arsenal, one, because he was guaranteed to play every game, first of all. Secondly, he felt he could come to Arsenal and make a difference to the team. Whereas at Man City, he would just be another good player, wouldn't he, in their squad? And I think that's an influence as well, isn't it? Plus, he's a leader of this team. He can become a leader of this team, can't he? So, but yes, obviously he's going to want success. Of course he is. And at this moment in time, we don't look as though we're going to be able to bring that success, do we? Mark says, I don't think either of our strikers really frighten defenders. No, they don't. They don't. We don't have that type of player. But in a way, I don't know if Arteta really wants that type of player. I really don't. I'm just not sure. Because we don't seem to. I mean, in 4 years, what you got to remember is in 4 years, as he's been Arsenal manager now for 4 years, Mikel Arteta, right? And he's bought one player that you could call technically a striker, and that's Gabriel Jesus. And he knew him from working with him at Man City. He's not bought any other striker, any other forward player, really, has he? Trossard, okay. He's bought Trossard as well as a forward player, but he's not a centre forward, is he? A striker. And that's, I don't know, after 4 years, you would imagine, yes, you've got to tighten your defence up. We had to tighten our defence up. You've got to, you don't win too much if you've got a poor defence. So, we've had to, he's rebuilt the defence, hasn't he? With players like Ben White, Gabriel, obviously brought Kirill in, he's brought Zinchenko in, he's brought Tomiyasu in. So he's rebuilt the defence. He's rebuilt the midfield as well. Obviously, Rice, Ødegaard, Havertz today, all his players. Jorginho on the bench, that's his player. But yet we've still got in our front attack. We've got Saka, who was already at the club before Arteta arrived. Martinelli, who was already at the club before he arrived. Eddie Nketiah, already at the club before he arrived. Reece Nelson, Emil Smith-Rowe, both at the club before he arrived. That's our attacking options. It's only Trossard and Jesus that he's brought in 4 years. That's not enough, is it? It's not enough. But anyway, there we go. Nathan says, of course, you're not going to spend in excess of 100 million on squad players, but bringing players with that mentality will push the players in the first team. They know they're being pushed. Well, I never look on it as buying squad players. I look on it as being you're buying more first team players, and you can only play 11 at a time. Of course you can, but then you've got the options to rotate. If you've got, say, if we had a better striking option in Eddie Nketiah, you can put Jesus on the bench for a few games, and the striker that you've got in is going to play and do well. But then you've got Jesus on there, so you can rotate, and then you can put Jesus in for 2 or 3 games. You can change him around, and it's not going to drop the level. So I don't look on it saying you're buying squad players. You pay £100 million and you get a player who potentially is going to be in your first team. And yes, putting pressure on the players that are already there and saying, well, you've got to step your game up or you're going to lose your place. But you need to have a squad. You need to, if you're going to win trophies, you need to have a bench where you've got 3 or 4 players every single game that you can bring on who are going to be game changers. Yes, you need to have some cover for defensive areas and midfield, of course, you're there as well. But you need to have your couple of 2 or 3 of your game changers come off the bench in a game like today when it's 1-1, or the other night when you're losing, and you can bring them on and you've got the chance for them to do something to change the game. You look at I know, I don't want to compare women's football and men's football because they're different, but for example, the Arsenal women's team, we've got players on the bench every single week that are first team players, but they're on the bench because you can only play 11. And that's what I want to see more of with this team. We've got our benches full of squad players, as you mentioned there, Nathan, and that's, we've got squad players on the bench, but you need to have 2 or 3 first team players on the bench as well that can come on and make an impact. And that's what we'd spend 100 million on, those type of players. That's what we need to do, but it's not going to happen, not in this window, maybe not in the next one, I don't know, but let's see. Terry says my only worry with Rice is Arteta will burn him out. Well, I think Rice was pretty much playing every game for West Ham, so I don't think that's necessarily an issue about burnout. He didn't get burnt out playing for West Ham, did he? They've had 2 seasons when they've gone really, really far into Europe, and he's played every game. He's played 50 games the last 2 seasons for West Ham. So I don't think Declan Rice is going to get burnt out by playing 55 games for Arsenal a season. No, he's not. He's used to it. So, no, I don't think he's going to get burnt out. I think the only problem might be he might get slightly annoyed if we don't push on and win trophies. He just won a European trophy last year with West Ham. He's got a taste of that now. And that's what it's like, isn't it? When you're a player, and I don't care, people say, they've got, they're getting paid £100 million a week, whatever it is they get paid, and it doesn't matter. But once you're a player and you've tasted success, you've won a trophy, you want to win more trophies. That's what you want to do. And Declan Rice wants to win more trophies. He's come to Arsenal because he thinks we've got more chance of winning trophies than West Ham, where he was at before. And of course, he's right. But we've got to do that. Otherwise, 2 or 3 years' time, if we haven't won anything, Declan Rice is going to think to himself, he's going to be at that sort of age, isn't he? He's going to be, 26, 27, and he's going to think to himself, I need to win trophies, and he's going to look to go elsewhere. That's my danger. My danger isn't him getting burnt out. My danger is us not winning anything and him wanting to move on to achieve those aims and goals and that he wants in his career. And not just him, I think there'll be other players. Well, William Saliba, for example. William Saliba is, I think his attitude sometimes, I don't know, he looks a bit off to me. He's a great defender, and I think he will go and have a great career. But he's going to get to a point where he thinks, well, if I'm not winning stuff here at Arsenal, I'm going to have to go somewhere else. So he's another player, isn't he? It looks like Tommy Asu's coming on. That's a shock, isn't it? We're all expecting Jesus to come on, a striker, and instead we're going to be bringing Tommy Asu. Is it for Kiwior? I didn't think Kiwior did that badly, actually. I mean, yes, he wasn't great for the goal. He did make one other little mistake as well, but how many mistakes does Zinchenko make and gets away with it? Obviously, Tommy Asu wasn't fit to start, but he's going to be coming on at half-time. This is interesting. Is it going to be Kiwior to go off? You would imagine it will be, but it's Tommy Asu's coming on at half-time, so there was a change at half-time. It is Kiwior that's gone off. So is that tactical? Is that an injury? If it's tactical, then I am absolutely shocked because Zinchenko's been allowed to get away with mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, giving away goals right, left and centre, and he plays virtually a whole game. Kiwior comes on, plays 45 minutes. Yes, he wasn't brilliant. I'm not going to say he was. He did okay. And yes, he was culpable for 1 or 2 mistakes, but to take him off at half-time, what's that going to, if he's not injured, what's that going to do for his confidence? To me, that's a big, big call. Mark C says, so we're bringing on Tommy Asu. We have brought on Tommy Asu for Kiwior. Clearly, this left-back issue, maybe that's where we need to look in the transfer window, to buy a proper left-back who can play left-back and also drop in midfield. If there's one of them about, put your hand up. Mark C says our focus is totally on maintaining 100% possession. There's very little off the cuff or spontaneous play. We're so robotic in our approach. Yeah, we said this before. We have said this before. Absolutely. It is very. I said the other night. It sometimes looks like a synchronized swimming the way that we play. It's all so regimented, or like an army marching. There is nothing off the cuff. There's no individuality to it. It's all, possession based, and I don't personally like it. Terry says Our bench never seemed to be chomping at the bit to get on, happy to sit there laughing. And yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you. We got Mark. Mark Dezelinade, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Terry says there, Rice wasn't doing half as much at West Ham as he's having to do with us, and he had other team members he could like. Well, yeah, but I don't know. I don't see that as a problem. Nathan says, Cancelo, is he? Oh, a left back. Oh, yeah, he probably is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's a type of left back. There's not many of them, is there, that can do that. Anyway, we have kicked off the second half. Nothing really has happened yet. We're just coming to terms with this change. Tomiyasu coming on at left back for Kiwior. Unless there's an injury, he's basically just killed Kiwior's career, hasn't he? And he's killed several other players' careers as well. And yet he lets... Oh, hang on. Declan Rice is in here. Can he shoot from the edge of the box? The referee kind of helped us in that attack by blocking off a Fulham player unintentionally. Now, Martinelli with a shot across the goal. It's gone wide. The referee's apologising here to Alex Iwobi. He did block him off. Maybe he should have stopped the play, actually, the referee there, because he stopped the... In fact, he knocked over Alex Iwobi. I mean, I'm surprised that the game was out to carry on there. Had we scored, I think it would have been mayhem there from Fulham. But Martinelli's shot's gone well wide. And Marco Silva is making that very point on the side at the moment to the fourth official. I mean, wow, that was... You can't allow the game to carry on when the referee has just knocked over a Fulham player who's going to challenge the ball, which happened to be Alex Iwobi. I mean, incredible. Anyway, Fulham are now coming forward themselves with Paulina. He's got Anthony Robertson on his near side. Fulham looking dangerous. Again, across comes into the box. It's gone away over to the far side. Raul Jimenez now in possession, plays it in to Alex Iwobi. Gets a shot away. It's blocked by Declan Rice. And Arsenal clear it away. And suddenly Fulham have started this half quite brightly. But yeah, that was a strange moment, wasn't it? And I don't know, we'd be gutted the other side, wouldn't we, if Fulham scored from a situation like that when the referee basically knocked over one of our players who was about to challenge the ball. Wow, incredible stuff there. And it looked like the goal would have stood if Martinelli had scored. How can the ref disallow it when he didn't allow play to go on? Anyway, Fulham now in possession on this near side with Tom Kearney, plays it out to Tossan. Now it's with Castagna, and it's gone back to Bernd Leno. We've played 48 minutes. Craven Cottage, it is Fulham 1, Arsenal 1, our last match of 2023. A win, of course, would take us to the top of the table on New Year, but we've still got a lot of work to do. It's Fulham instead coming forward over on that far side. Decordova replays the ball into the near post. William Saliba's there. Not a great clearance, but not a great touch either there from Castagna, but the ball's bounced off Gabriel. It's going to be a corner to Fulham, and we just need to hang in here, don't we, at the start of this second half. Tomiyasu was beat a little bit too easy there from Decordova-Reid. Again, that left-back issue is a problem. There's no doubt about that. And it's a corner to Fulham over on that far side early in this second half. Fulham 1, Arsenal 1. And Arsenal got some defending to do here. We've got a couple of big lads in here. The defensive corner comes in. Not a great corner. It's headed away. And now Martinelli can bring the ball forward for Arsenal. A little counter-attack here. But again, we don't really make the most of that. It was Kai Havertz lost the ball, but we've won it back again. Now Eddie Nketiah over on that far side. Plays it in to Tomiyasu. Gets it back. There's some space over there, but Fulham defenders across. That's a good tackle there from Castagna. And it's going to be a throw to Fulham. Terry says you may as well give Ramsdale a run out of left back. Well, he might as well, yeah. Running out of options at the minute, aren't we? But anyway, it's definitely a problem. I mean, I want to find out, what was Kiwior injured? He didn't look as though he was injured in that first half. And if he wasn't, if he's taken him off literally for tactical reasons, then I think that is shocking, because Zinchenko's made 100 times more mistakes than Kiwior made in that first half and gets to stay on. Ridiculous. Yes, Kiwior's not going to be as comfortable dropping it in the midfield. Of course he's not. He's a defender. That's the whole point of playing a left back, a defensive left back, because you want him to defend. Anyway, we know this system is flawed, and unfortunately the flaws are coming out far too regularly at the moment. William Saliba, though, plays it to Gabriel. Gabriel's falls back, and he goes back to David Raya just outside the Arsenal penalty area, away to our left-hand side. Arsenal attacking the end to our right, where the Arsenal fans are gathered here at Craven Cottage. And Gabriel now in possession, plays it back to William Saliba. In possession for Arsenal, Saliba. Very tight in that midfield now. It comes over to Declan Rice. Goes over halfway, strides forward, finds Ben White on his near side, threads the ball through, looking for Odegaard. Good defending again from Anthony Robinson, who's played well for Fulham. He's a left back we could look at. Oh, Martin Odegaard's just won the ball back. In fact, he hasn't, because the referee's given a foul on Paulinho, who's gone down holding his ankle. Was this a foul there? Yeah, well, yeah, it clearly was. It is a free kick to Fulham. We've played 6 minutes of the second half. It's still Fulham 1, Arsenal 1, and Arsenal haven't really done anything yet since half time in the attacking sense. And Willian now trying to come forward for Fulham on this near side. Touches the ball back to Batty. And now Bernd Leno goes long. Good header out there from William Saliba. Now Fulham trying to come forward up this near side. But the ball's now gone back to Raya. That's a decent kick out, actually, over on that far side. Finds Tomiyasu. Plays the ball back in to Gabriel. Now it's into Declan Rice for Arsenal. Declan Rice finds Ben White. Now it's with Declan Rice again. This is better from Arsenal. Martin Odegaard moving the ball a little bit quicker. Martin Odegaard's got Saka outside him. I'm sure you're going to try and look for it. Instead, he touch it off to Rice. Now it's with Ben White on the overlap. Ben White dinks across him, but it's a bad cross, poor cross. It's gone over for a goal kick to Fulham. And that attack didn't last very long, did it, for Arsenal? We looked pretty good for a while there. Some nice, quick passing, but when it came down to the final ball, really, really poor that was from Ben White. And it's a goal kick to Fulham. 52.5 minutes on the clock. Fulham 1, Arsenal 1, and Arsenal looking nowhere near good enough in this game to get the 3 points. But you never know. We've picked up the ball now. Declan Rice inside the centre circle. Declan Rice again looking head and shoulders above everybody else, isn't he, on the pitch? Lawrence, who I say doing Lawrence, he said Arteta has reached the ceiling of his potential. He can't seem to improve the team anymore. He needs to go because the performances from these players are a shambles. I totally agree with you. And I think that he's so focused on this system without looking at the players that he's got and getting the best out of them. That's the problem. And while he keeps doing that, we're never going to be able to succeed, are we? Terry says the ref should have given himself a yellow card for that foul. Yeah, he should have done. Yeah, he should have definitely given himself a yellow card. Mark C says bloody hell, that crossing sometimes is awful. Well, it is when it's Ben White involved. Anyway, Bukayo Saka's been pushed in field. Oh, that's a poor ball, actually, from Bukayo Saka. He's not been at his best today. He did get the goal, of course, very early on, but other than that, he's not had a great game at all. Kai Havertz there works hard to win the ball back for Arsenal, but it's gone behind it. It's going to be a throw to Fulham. Not great at all from Bukayo Saka, you have to say. I think he's had a poor game today, along with a few others. And this has been a theme, hasn't it, for some time, really. I mean, I say we've only won one of our previous 5 games. It could be 1 in 6 today if it finishes like this, or maybe it gets worse because Fulham are coming forward again. And they have played some really, really good football, Fulham, today. You have to say, I've been really impressed with them. They've played with tempo, they've played with energy, and they play with quality as well. And they're knocking the ball around really well here. They've been strong at the back, and they're coming forward now with a toss out into Willian, who's had a good game. Willian just maybe did a little bit too much there, though, and Saka able to step in. Rajendra says, it's so flawed that we are bottom of the league. No, but you're missing the point, my friend, because with the money that we've spent, with the players that we've got, we shouldn't be playing as badly as we are, and we have been, and we should be playing better football. That's the point, isn't it? Of course, you know, with the players that we've got, we're not going to be anywhere near the bottom of the league, are we? Because this manager wouldn't still be here. We spent nearly £700 million, and we still haven't got a bench that's strong enough to make changes to win us a game, and we're still playing the same predictable football that's only going to ever take us so far. And you know, it's time now to move up, isn't it? It's time now to move on, and it's no good being second and third and fourth in the league anymore. With the amount of money that we spent, with the amount of time we've given this manager, now's the time to take that next step, and I don't think this manager's able to do that. The evidence so far for the last 4 years is pointing to the fact that he's not able to do that. And what do we do? Hang on and keep doing this for the next 3 or 4 years? For what outcome? For what reason? Anyway, Declan Rice now, who could maybe make a difference in this game. Again, that's a poor ball forward. It's Tomiyasu playing in midfield where it's not his natural position. And you put Tomiyasu there, and he's not going to be able to make them passes because that's not his game. And that's down to the manager. Martinelli just giving the ball away as well. This is an absolute shambles, honestly. It's a shambles. That ball's played through. Oh, Jimenez was nearly in. Good reading of the game there from William Saliba, and it had to be. If it wasn't for Saliba and Rice, I fear that we wouldn't be, wouldn't be bottom of the league, but we certainly wouldn't be in the top 6. Those two have kept us together this season. Some of their performances have been magnificent. It's just the rest of it's just not working. But there you go. You know, I personally want more. With the money that we spent, the time that we've given this manager, I want more. I want to see some trophies. Now's the time. We can't keep saying, well, we're better than we were 3 years ago. Arteta took us down to 8th place, took us out of Europe completely. And from there, we've improved. We've improved on the mess that he put us in. And even now, we still can't take that next step and go the next step up, which is to start winning these trophies. And we don't look anywhere near. This team doesn't look anywhere near winning this Premier League title. In fact, I think we're going to have a struggle to finish in the top 4. Honestly, I do. Anyway, Fulham coming forward now. Iwobi plays the ball out to the far side for Decordova-Reid. That's a decent ball. It's a good defensive header at the near post from Gabriel. It's a corner though to Fulham. Every time Fulham come forward, we are looking shaky. And you feel as though Fulham might score. That was a good ball from Decordova-Reid. Jimenez was looking to get in there. And Gabriel's had to deal with that, and there's an inquest going on between Gabriel and Declan Rice, having some words there, actually, the two of them, which is, you kind of like to see that because they want to improve. They want to be doing better as a team, and that's good to see. But yeah, you don't want any silliness going on. A corner comes into the near post. Arsenal just about deal with it. Nathan says sloppy. Yeah, it's been sloppy. This second half has been really sloppy. Iwobi there's just took the ball off Martinelli, brings it forward. Fulham again are playing some nice football here. Really good football, Fulham. They're coming forward again. Paulino, that's a good ball out to the far side. William's going to get this. Is he going to get across it? He does. It's a good defensive header by Tomiyasu. It's another corner to Fulham. Terry says, is it just a coincidence that City have won more since Arteta left and we won nothing? Well, who knows? Is it a coincidence? Anyway, Fulham have got another corner and they're bringing the big defenders up. Tossan and Bassi. And Paulino's in there as well. Castagna, Decordova-Reid. And also got some defending to do here. Raul Jimenez is in there as well. The Fulham goal scorer is going to be Willian to take this corner. Puts it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Header comes in from Paulino. Arsenal don't really clear it away. And Fulham have scored. And it's 2-1. And it's Bobby Decordova-Reid with the goal. And you have to say, Arsenal have got what we deserve from this second half. We just haven't got going at all since half-time. And Fulham have scored again. This is an absolute shambles from Arsenal once again. And it is Bobby Decordova-Reid. The corner came in. I think it was Paulinho's header. Arsenal didn't deal with it at all well. And it's fell to the edge of the 6-yard box. And Decordova-Reid's there to turn it home. It was really, really poor defending there. A couple of players just stuck a leg at the ball. That's just terrible, terrible defending. Weak defending. It's Gabriel there. Little flick. It's hit Tomiyasu. Terrible defending. Absolutely terrible defending. And Bobby Decordova-Reid's there. It was an absolute shambles. That. Look at that. What's Gabriel doing? And yes, it was a bit lucky the way it came off Tomiyasu and it fell straight to Decordova-Reid. But that's awful defending again. That's another terrible, terrible goal. Nathan says there's a Fulham goal coming there. Well, there is. I've just scored it. And Mark's not very happy there. And you have to say, yes, that goal has been coming. Absolutely 100% has been coming. This has been dreadful. This second half, we just haven't got going at all. Just awful. Really, really poor. And yes, we're not bottom of the league, but that's not the point, is it? We're supposed to be challenging for a title. And this is just terrible. And anyway, it started to rain as well at Craven Cottage. We played an hour, by the way. And wasn't that about the time West Ham got their second goal the other night, wasn't it? And that was from a corner as well. Don't know what's going on. It is so poor. Fulham coming forward again straight away from our kicker, but we have won the ball. Saka, who's been virtually anonymous in this second half. Martin Ødegaard. This is where you need your captain to step up and drive us forward. Vijendra says, yes, but the Chelsea and Man United managers are so good, they are better than Arteta. Well, they probably are better than Arteta. They just haven't got as good a team, have they? If you was to put Ten Hag in I mean, I said this, like, Ten Hag won a trophy and finished third last year. If he had this team, he would do better than Arteta's doing. Absolutely. They're better managers. They've just got poor teams, which so they haven't had as much time to build, have they? The Chelsea manager's been in since the start of the season. Arteta's been here 4 years. Ten Hag's only his second season. You know, you can't compare them on that basis. You can't, because they've not had the same time and the same amount of money they spent to build a team. Arteta's had the time to do it. And that's the difference, isn't it? Terry says, another great half-time team talk by Arteta. He's really ready the troops. Well, yeah, he seems to have done. To be honest, I've had enough of him. I've had enough of him now. I've had enough of him for a long time. And Arsenal now trying to respond. Bukayo Saka on this near side. We need these big names to step up. Declan Rice tries to thread the ball through again, though. Not great stuff. And Fulham managed to clear the ball away. Arsenal haven't done nearly enough. We do still have half an hour to play roundabouts to get back into it. But yeah. And to be honest, I don't care about Man United and Chelsea. I'm not interested in them. I only care about Arsenal. And what I'm seeing from Arsenal, what I've seen from this manager for the last 4 years, isn't enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough for Arsenal. It's not. Mark C says our tactics won't change. No, of course they won't change. He doesn't know how to change them. He hasn't got a clue. He can't change anything. I doubt he can even change his underwear, Mikel Arteta, because he doesn't know how to change anything, does he? The subs he makes is just like for like. He's playing players in positions that they're not comfortable with because the system is more important to him than getting the best out of the players he's got. This has always been the problem. This is why players like Willian didn't work at Arsenal. You can see what Willian's done today. He's been allowed to play his game, what he's good at, and he's been great. When he was at Arsenal, he was restricted. You know, Martinelli's restricted. Saka's restricted. You know, they're all restricted. Tommy Asu's got to come into midfield. He's a defender. He's a fullback. Oh, that's a poor mistake at the back. Saka. Oh, and that just sums it all up there. Saka from 6 yards has just fired it over the goal with nobody near him. And it's a sort of chance that you would expect Bukayo Saka to take. It wasn't a great cross, actually, for Martinelli. It was just a really poor defending there. Two Fulham defenders got in each other's way. And Saka has snatched at that, fired it over the bar. And that's a big chance for Arsenal to get level there. And it's on his left foot as well. That is absolutely terrible. That is a terrible, terrible miss. And that kind of sums up where we are at this moment in time. You know, it's another chance that we can't even hit the target. He's 5-6 yards out on his own, free. Anyway, well, Arsenal just giving the ball away. It will be over on that far side. Puts a cross in. Oh, good header by William Saliba. It had to be as well because Raul Jimenez was coming in behind him. Mark C says that one's out in the Thames. It is, yeah. There's it's definitely landed on one of them boats that go along the Thames there, isn't it? Behind Craven Cottage. Definitely, that's where that one is. Someone's lucky, aren't they? Picked up a ball. And another poor ball out of defence. Finds Willian coming forward for Fulham. Oh, good tackle though there. Was that William Saliba again? No, it was Gabriel actually that time. There you go. Terry says, Saka gone woke and blonde. Well, he's certainly gone blonde and he's not been great, has he, since he dyed his hair. Anyway, that was a big, big chance. Nathan says, oh dear, Saka indeed. Yes, it was a big, big chance. You don't get many big chances like that, do you, when you're playing away from home in the Premier League? You have to hit the target. I mean, yes, let them make the goalie save it, but hit the target. You can't put it into the River Thames. Bill says we need a manager who can use these players and get the best out of them, not the man for the job at all. Exactly. That's exactly it, Phil. You've summed it up perfectly there. And this has always been the case with Arteta. Look at the players that we've brought in. You know, Kieran Tierney, for example, right? Was he not one of the best left backs in the Premier League? And he's had to get rid of him because he can't play this inverted system. So drop the inverted system. Aubameyang, right? A 30-goal-a-season striker, Aubameyang was, scoring goals for fun. And what does he do? He wants him to track back and cover for his left back because he wants to put his left back in midfield. Aubameyang's not having that. He's a 30-goal striker. Play him in the middle where he can score 30 goals. But no, Arteta won't do that. Absolutely won't do that. Terry's agreeing with Phil. Yeah, absolutely. But Daniel says he has spent more money. Who spent more money? Who spent more money than Arteta? Pep, probably. Maybe Pep has. I don't know. I don't know what Pep doesn't seem to have spent a lot of money in the last 4 years, does he? Because he built his team before. You can't really compare Pep because Pep's been at Man City a long time and Pep's been a manager for a long time. But if you look at the managers in the last 2 years, they haven't spent more than Arteta spent. Arteta spent nearly 700 million. Who else has spent 700 million? Since in that time that Arteta's been at Arsenal, nobody. He's probably spent the most money in the Premier League. And he's got a team that he can't beat Fulham away from home. He can't beat West Ham at home. Come on. We've got a free kick now, about 25 yards out. And it's going to be Odegaard and Declan Rice over this. There was a yellow card to Tom Kearney. And Odegaard takes it. And guess where it's gone? I will give you a guess. It's gone over the crossbar into the crowd behind the goal, as 90% of our chances do. Anyway, suddenly now we're getting some excitement. Trossard and Jesus are coming on. So Arteta is going to change. Is he going to change the system? Is he going to change the system? We shall see. Martinelli's going off. He didn't have a great game in the end. He started well, faded out of it. So he's going off. So Trossard's probably going to play down the left. You imagine Eddie Nketiah will go off for Jesus. Surely Eddie Nketiah's got to go off. He's not touched the ball for half an hour. In fact, Ben White's gone off. Okay. So is he going to put Tomiyasu across to right back? Well, he has changed the system. Fair play, actually, because he doesn't often change the system too much, does he? He's changed this system now. Is he going to free at the back? Is he going to play a free at the back? He's got Trossard and Jesus are on. Martinelli and Ben White are off. Let's see if this change of system is going to make a difference. At least he's tried something with 23 minutes to play. So let's see if it works. Jandra says, so then Man U and Chelsea don't have money to spend on their team. Of course, they have money to spend on their team. They spent money on their team. Everybody spent money on their team. But in the last 4 years, the Chelsea manager's only had 6 months. So he's not spent much, has he? Because he's not had a chance to. He's had one transfer window. The Man United manager's only been there. This is only his second season. So he's only had 3 transfer windows. So he's not spent as much as Arteta because he hasn't been there as long. Arteta spent more money than both of those 2 managers. And yes, he's got a better team than them. Of course he has. He should have, shouldn't he? He spent more money. He's had more time to build it. But we're still not good enough. And I don't care if we're better than Man U or Chelsea. That's irrelevant. We're not as good as the teams we need to be as good as, which is Liverpool, which is Man City. We're not as good as them. We may not even be as good as Aston Villa. And look about Emery. So we talk about him. How much money he spent at Aston Villa in a year and a half that he's been there? No, not even a year and a half. Let's look at that, shall we? Let's talk about him. Let's not talk about Chelsea, Man United. Let's talk about Aston Villa. Let's talk about Newcastle. Okay, they're having a bad time at the minute. But look at the improvements that they've made. Look what they've achieved in the last 18 months in comparison. Let's talk about those teams. Let's not talk about Chelsea and Man U because we don't care about them. They're irrelevant now. But even so, their managers haven't had as long, have they, to build the team? Let's get it right. Mark C says, here we go, the desperation move. Well, I mean, it's something different, isn't it? I see, Tomiyasu's come across the right back, actually. Looks like Gabriel. Is it a free at the back? I'm just trying to figure out what's happened here. Is Declan Rice maybe got in? Because it looks like White, Saliba and Tomiyasu as a back three. That's what it looks like. And obviously we've got Rice and Odegaard in that midfield. We've got Eddie, Jesus as a front two almost, you could say. Havertz has moved more central as well. We've got Trossard on the left, Saka on the right, and we've got Fulham on the ball currently coming forward. And Willian with a little bit of space on this near side touches it back in to Tom Kearney, who did get booked. Terry says, great management, take our best player off. Phil says, with the money spent, we should be winning everything. Well, we should be winning something. We'll do something, not everything. I mean, I think everything would be great, but we're nowhere near the level to do that. But yeah, we should certainly be winning something with the money we spent. Absolutely, we should. Legenda says KT was injured all the time, as he is right now. Well, yeah, but is that down to the player? I mean, I don't know. But then you buy somebody better, don't you? You buy somebody better. You don't just keep playing Zinchenko there when he's just mistake after mistake. You don't do it there. He's just killed Kyrgios's career now by taking him off at half time when he made like one mistake in that first half because he's not suited to that role because it's a role he's overcomplicating everything, And I don't know why. I honestly can't see what argument there is now against any of this. Honestly, I can't. There's no argument. With the money he spent, the time he's been here, we should be winning trophies. We should have won trophies already. We should have been in the Champions League before we were. He's held us back. He's held us back with his ridiculous system and his stubbornness and his refusal to play players in a position that they're suited to and having to keep buying players, getting rid of them and buying more players to replace them, wasting money. It's ridiculous. Anyway, Fulham are coming forward again. Jimenez has got through 2 challenges on the edge of the box. Fulham have still got the ball. Tom Kearney tries a shot. Good save from Raya. And it's going to go behind for a corner to Fulham. Decordova looking to try and get on the end of it. In fact, I think it's going to be offside. Rajendra says, you have your own agenda. You're right, I do. My agenda is for Arsenal to be successful and win trophies. That's always what my agenda's always been. And if we can't do that, then I think we should make the changes to enable us to do that. And I believe that is first and foremost with the manager. I wouldn't even give this manager any more money to spend because he's wasted most of it that he's had. Wasted it. He's bought players and replaced them. Alex Iwobi's going off now, by the way. He had a good game today for Fulham, actually. Well done, Alex Iwobi. I just want to say that he played well today. Andreas Pereira's coming on for him. He's a good player as well, isn't he? But no, well done, Iwobi. You know, it didn't maybe work out for him at Arsenal, although he had some bright moments. He played well today, and he's had a good season for Fulham. But he's off now, and Andreas Pereira is coming on. Terry says, we're that good. Look at our last 6 results, 100%, my friend. Will Rally Sports says, we need a striker in January. Don't know we should everyone agree. Well, of course we need a striker, yeah. We need a few players. We definitely need a striker. Will Rally Sports says, some of our players aren't playing great at the moment. Zinchenko, Saka, quiet in games at the moment. Yeah, I mean, Zinchenko's been dreadful. Saka's had a poor game today. Absolutely, he has been really poor today. He did score very early on, but he's been poor, you're right. But yeah, I mean, I don't say I've got an agenda, but my thing's always been the same. I want Arsenal to be successful. I want to see a successful Arsenal team. And yeah, I'm prepared to give a manager time to do it. He's had 4 years and nearly £700 million. There's no more excuses. No more excuses. If he can't build a team in 4 years with the money he's had, he's never going to do it. Build a team that can win trophies. If he hasn't done it already, he's never going to. We've given him enough time. Anyway, that cross comes in, poor ball again, headed out by Fulham, who are finding this game far too easy, you've got to say. They've got a man over on that far side. It's a bit congested there in midfield. Ball comes up to this near side instead to Willian. He manages to just about keep it under control, keeps possession for Fulham. You have to say Fulham have played well. They really have. Even when they were losing this game, they still played well. And now Anthony Robinson's done well there. He gets past Saka a little bit too easily. He's going to head to this corner flag. He's going to try and win a corner for Fulham. He can't. It's a goal kick, but enterprising play there from the left back. Terry says we've needed a new striker 4 Januaries ago. Well, he's bought one striker in 4 years. Of course we're going to need strikers. We've only bought one in 4 years. Ridiculous. Will Race Book says hopefully get a goal back, draw, prefer a win. I thought that's going to happen now. Well, we've into the last 17 minutes of this game. Apart from that big Saka chance, we've not created anything since we went behind. We don't look like getting anything from this game. It's windy, it's raining, and I'm sure that there'll all be excuses that we can make for Arteta. Another failure from this manager and this team. I don't blame the players necessarily. I blame the manager 100%. Rajendra says that Aston Villa are so good that they'll win the league. Well, they might do. They're above us. So, and their managers had what? Alan, when did he take over? November last year? He's got them above us in the league already. How much has he spent? Should we talk about that? How much has Unai Emery spent on Aston Villa since he's been there? I don't know. It'd be nowhere near what Arteta spent. He's had nowhere near the time, has he? You know, I'm not saying, you know, why can't Aston Villa win the league? If we can, if you think we can, why can't Aston Villa when they're above us, playing better than we are? How does that work? I don't get it. Terry says, and they beat us. Exactly, yeah, and they beat us, yeah. Everybody's beating us at the minute. But if you think Aston Villa can't win the league, why do you believe we can when they're above us and they're playing better than us and they look more of a team than us and they've got a plan B, they've got better changes on the bench that they make, they've got a manager who actually's got some idea about what's needed in games to change things. As things stand, we're 4th in the league. We are 4th in the league. Aston Villa 2 points above us. So, yeah, can they win the league? I don't know. I personally think it's going to be Man City or Liverpool. Usually Man City, you would say. So probably Aston Villa can't win the league this year. No. But look at the progress that they've made in what? 12, 13 months he's been there? 14 months, whatever long it is. In fact, I'm sure I read somewhere on Matchday the other night, they said that only Man City have won more points than Aston Villa since Unai Emery's took over. More than Arteta in that same period. More points than Arteta over that same period. So why, if Villa can't win the league, why do you believe we're in a better position to do that? What makes you believe that? I want to know, because if you believe that Arsenal have got more chance than Villa, please tell me why, based on all those facts, because I can't think of any. Will Rally Sports says, then if we won this game, we would have gone top. It's annoying watching Arsenal. It's very annoying watching Arsenal at the moment, my friend. It is, yeah. Bill says our heart isn't in it anymore. I don't know. We don't. This isn't a happy performance, is it at all? The players don't look happy. We don't look as though we're enjoying this at all. And certainly, as fans watching it, we're not enjoying it. It's terrible. It really is terrible. And Gabriel Jesus has just conceded a free kick there. And it's absolutely chucking it down with rain. You have to say the heavens have opened on this New Year's Eve in West London, next to the Thames. And Arsenal making another change at Reece Nelson is coming on. And seeing this is the problem. And Havertz has gone off. Doesn't look very happy. Kai Havertz. He didn't have a great game today, did he? And Reece Nelson has come on. Rajendra says, you are too critical and we need to support the team and the current manager. We can play the sack the manager game every 6 months. No, but you see, what I want is to I say I want the team to be successful. I don't see anything in this team or this manager to suggest that's going to happen. And we've had 4 years of it. It's not every 6 months, is it? He's been here 4 years. Yes, I've wanted him out for 2 years. I agree. So we had 2 years though before that. Before I was prepared to give him some time. I gave him 2 years, and then I realised that he wasn't going to be the right man. And the last 2 years haven't changed any of that. In fact, it's just made it even more obvious that that's the case. And I just want better for this club, this football club, because we're Arsenal, and we should be better. We should be better. Terry says, Rajendra, I'd have sacked him in 2021. Yeah, I would have. I mean, he's had probably four occasions when he should have been sacked. December 2020, when we were 15th in the league, we couldn't beat anybody. I'd have sacked him then. When we then, the end of that season, when we got out of Europe completely, finished 8th, I'd have sacked him then, which was summer 21. Yeah, that was summer 21. I would have then sacked him when we lost 5-0 to Man City at the start of the season after that. I would have sacked him then. When we blew the top 4, when we had we were 4 points clear with 3 games left, let Tottenham sneak it in, I'd have sacked him then. I'd have sacked him last year for throwing away the league. He could have been sacked 10 times. And he's still here. Anyway, Arsenal now, Reece Nelson, who's just come on. Is he going to make the difference? Martin Odegaard now. This is one of the better attacks Arsenal have put together. Tomiyasu's now over on the right-hand side. It's all a mess, isn't it? It's all a big mess. Declan Rice now plays the ball back to Saka into Odegaard. They are not above us. Who's not above us? Aston Villa are above us, my friend. Want to check league table? Aston Villa are second. We're 4th currently as things stand. They're 2 points above us, Aston Villa. But Arsenal have won a corner, and there's 12 minutes to go. So maybe we can snatch something here. Nathan says, I don't understand with the points laid out how you could still think he needs to be stood. But exactly, mate. There's no excuses. Anyway, Willian's going off as well now for Fulham, and Decordova-Reid. It's his goal that's given Fulham the lead here today. And Diop and Wilson. Issa Diop, defenders coming on, and Wilson as well, Harry Wilson. So they've got a little bit more defensive Fulham, understandably so. So that's good, isn't it? Nathan says they don't look like getting back into this at all. These are moments you need someone to grab it by the neck. Exactly, yeah. That's exactly it. We don't have anyone to do that, do we? Will so I'll bring Smith Rowe on, give him a chance. Is he on the bench? He's on the bench. He's not going to bring Smith Rowe on. He doesn't trust him. He can't manage his players, this guy, honestly. The corner comes into the near post. It's a terrible corner. Doesn't beat the first man. And Fulham get it away. We're into the last 10.5 minutes. And Arsenal headed for a second defeat in a row. Cross comes in. Oh, Fulham didn't deal with that particularly well. Was it Gabriel at the far post? Threw himself at it, but he couldn't get a touch on it. And it's gone behind. It's going to be a goal. Quickly. The ball was whipped in there over on that far side from Trossard. And poor defending actually from Fulham for the first time. They didn't manage to deal with that at all. It's a good ball actually from Trossard. It's a really good ball. And Gabriel couldn't get a touch on it. He threw himself at it, but it's gone away and it's a goal kick to Fulham. Mark C says, Eddie and Jesus both running into the same space. No communication. Yep. Rajendra says, why did not Unai Emery do that when he was manager of Arsenal? Well, he didn't do that when he was manager of Arsenal because he wasn't given the backing. he wanted certain players that he wasn't given, and he was given people like Nicolas Pepe that he didn't want, and he had to try and make the best of it. And of course, you're a hiding to nothing, aren't you? When you've got players that you don't really want. Imagine if Arteta wasn't given players he wanted, we'd be mid-table. Had the club back to Unai Emery, allowed him the time and the money and buy the players that he wanted, there's no doubt in my mind we would have been more successful by now. We would have been in the Champions League 2 years earlier than we were, and we may well have won a Europa League, for example, Unai Emery's favourite trophy, or something. So that's the reason why Unai Emery wasn't successful at Arsenal. He was given 18. He had 18 months. Anyway, Saka now in the air. It's going to be the moment. Oh, good tackle on him there. That was, I think, was that Bassey again? He's been magnificent at the back, hasn't he? Calvin Bassey for Fulham. What a performance from him today. Or was it actually maybe Paulinho? Oh no, I think Paulinho's just been fouled. That was brilliant defending there. Saka inside the box. He had a moment there where it looked as though he was going to get clear to have a strike at goal. Tomiyasu played the ball through. He did well, actually. Saka cut inside, and then it was Paulinho actually with the block. What a piece of defending that was! Brilliant there from Paulinho there. Looked as though Saka was just about to get his shot away. That is a great tackle there, and he celebrates it like he scored a goal. And you have to say that's a goal. That's a match-winning block there, isn't it? From João Paulinho there for Fulham. Mark C says, even when we get a corner or free kick, we don't look threatening. No, we don't. Will Ray Sports says, Trossard, good player. I think he's playing quite well. Yeah, no, Trossard is a good player. Why isn't he starting games more in his proper position? He started the other night in a position that's not his. You know, Tomiyasu just committed a foul. It's going to be a free kick to Fulham into the last 8 minutes. We've got Palumba in the chat here, my friend. Good to see you. He says, evening. Don't laugh at us too much, my friend, please. We're struggling enough at the minute. We've had a bad few days. Don't take the piss out of us too much. Anyway, it's a free kick to Fulham now. They're looking for a third goal, which would finish this game off once and for all. Not that we've really looked like getting back in it too often. We've got this free kick on this near side for Fulham. It comes in. It's a dangerous ball. Headed away, though, by William Saliba. Comes out to Anthony Robinson. Chips up this near side looking for... is it Paulinho there? Plays it up the line. Good defending there, though, by Saliba again. But actually, he's had the ball taken off him, and Fulham have won it back. That wasn't a great ball, and Saliba now can bring it forward. That's a poor ball forward again. That ball's gone forward into space inside the box for Jimenez. He's gone very wide. It is going to be the clincher for Fulham. Shot comes in. It's deflected away. It's going to be a corner. He got too far wide there. Again, really, really poor defending. And Sonny Jimenez inside the box there. He was forced wide. He tried a shot where maybe a cross might have been a better option, but it is a corner, though, to Fulham. Nathan says, what a tackle that is. It was a brilliant block, wasn't it? Fantastic. Twellimer says there, what is happening to Arsenal these past games? What is the problem? Well, the problem is we've got the wrong manager, we've got the wrong tactics, and it's just not working. Another shot comes in from Fulham from that corner, but it's gone wide. That was Harry Wilson, who has just come on, the Welsh international, former Liverpool player, of course, and his shot's gone wide. It's a goal kick to Arsenal. We're into the last 6 minutes of normal time here at Craven Cottage. It is Fulham 2, Arsenal 1. Another disastrous performance from Arsenal. Another terrible London derby result as well. We haven't won too many London derbies this season, have we? Just Brentford, I think, is the only London team we've beaten. And Fulham are going to be getting 4 points off us as things stand. Twilmer says, Happy New Year to everyone. Happy holidays. And yourself, my friend. Happy New Year to you. And Fulham coming forward again. But that ball's just been kept in on this near side by Gabriel Jesus. And it's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper, David Raya. And we are now into the last 5.5 minutes. Declan Rice now bringing it forward for Arsenal inside the centre circle. Plays up this near side. Martin Odegaard. Saka's outside him. Saka gets the ball. Bukayo Saka. And he's just lost out again to Anthony Robertson, who's had a good game at the left back for Fulham. He's got some strange hair going on, the American, but he's played well. He has played really well. And that's one of the reasons why Saka's had such little impact in this match today. He did score and miss a big chance, but other than that, he's been really poor. Martin Odegaard tries a clever flick where the nice simple ball was on, and that sums up exactly what's going on here. Just terrible. 5 minutes to go here at Craven Cottage. Fulham 2, Arsenal 1, and Arsenal are heading to 4th place. We were top of the league a week ago, and now we're 4th. And no sign of things getting a lot better either. This has been poor today. West Ham was bad. This has been worse. Really, really worse. It's a score update. Spurs are 3-0 up against Bournemouth. Richarlison has got the 3rd goal there for Tottenham. So that's nice, isn't it? Anyways, Fulham coming forward again. Oh, and was he pulled back by William Saliba? He was. Or Harry Wilson, sorry, it was. And William Saliba is going to get a card. It may well be a red as well. Oh, it's a yellow. He's lucky there. He is very, very lucky there because it looked as though Wilson was clean through on goal. And he's pulled him back, Saliba. He's very, very lucky that's not a red card. Marco Silva is furious with that decision. You can understand why. That is a very, very poor decision there by the referee. You look as he's through on goal. He's pulled him back. I mean, how that isn't a wow, that is lucky there. That's not a red card. He's through on goal. Yes, Gabriel's across on the cover, but he's denied him a goal scoring opportunity there. That should be a red card, let's be honest. That should be a red card. It's only a yellow for Saliba. He's got away with one there. But Arsenal have got to defend this free kick on the edge of the box into the last 3.5 minutes. Mark C says, this is like watching the West Ham game all over again. This is worse. I think this is worse, actually. I mean, Fulham, against West Ham, we had lots and lots of chances, and you could say we were maybe unfortunate to lose, although West Ham played well. Today, Fulham have been a better team by a mile. They've been miles better than us today, Fulham, in every single aspect of the play. And if they get a 3rd goal in from this free kick, that's what we deserve. It is going to be Pereira, the Brazilian, with his free kick, or is it? Yes, it is going to be on the edge of the box, curls it around the wall. Oh, he's hit the crossbar. Really unlucky there. It's headed back into the box again. Arsenal trying to scramble it clear. It was almost 3-1. It's hit the crossbar, that free kick. What a free kick it was as well from Andreas Pereira, the substitute there for Fulham. And that would have been game over, wouldn't it? 100% would have been game over. If it isn't already, it definitely would have been then. And Fulham came so close. Terry says, I thought we've done well today. They smashed West Ham. Look what they done to us. Well, they did, yeah. They beat West Ham 5-0 for them. You can kind of see why. Declan Rice tries to drill the ball in. It's deflected off Bassi. It's going to be a corner to Arsenal. But almost 3-1 now. Hits the crossbar there. David Raya got nowhere near that free kick. A brilliant set piece that was there from Pereira. But Arsenal got a corner. Maybe we might scramble a draw. 88 minutes on the clock. Saka's going to take this corner from this near side to try and avoid a second defeat in a row. It'll be 1 point out of 9 if we lose this game. Saka's free kick to the near post doesn't beat the first man, and Fulham head it clear again, and then they've got a counter-attacking opportunity with Raul Jimenez. And now they're through again. It's Harry Wilson. He's got a run here. He's gone a little bit wide, tries to play it across into the far. Sorry, it was Pereira again. It's found Raul Jimenez, though. He's not in any hurry, is he? The Mexican, it was his ball through, and a terrible corner again from Arsenal. Really, really poor. This has been really, really poor all through, hasn't it? Really, let's be honest. Fulham now back in possession, just happy to keep the ball, knock it around. Terry says keeper had no chance of stopping it. No keeper had a chance of stopping that. It's a brilliant free kick. If it had been an inch lower, it would be 3-1 and it would be game over. And Fulham coming forward again up this near side. Anthony Robinson plays the ball across. Oh, it was Gabriel there. Wasn't really sure. And instead, he's just put it behind. It's going to be a throw to Fulham over on that far side. We're into the last minute of the 90. Mark C says that Fulham defenders throwing everything on the line, putting their bodies on the line to block shots. Yeah, they are, as West Ham did the other night. We've got to be better. Quite honestly, we've got to be better. This has not been anywhere near the acceptable level of performance. Nowhere near. And it wasn't the other night either. Anyway, Fulham again coming forward over on that far side. And yes, Fulham have played well. There's absolutely no question about that. But we've got to do better. 1 win in 6 games it'll be for Arsenal now, you feel, into the last few seconds of the 90. There will be a little bit of stoppage time, but not an awful lot. I reckon it's 5 minutes maybe at the most. There hasn't been a lot of stoppages, has there? There's been some substitutions. Yes, there's been a goal, obviously. Let's see what the stoppage time is. 5 minutes, there you go. It is 5 minutes. That's what I expected it to be, which is about what we would have imagined. So we've got 5 minutes to try and salvage a draw. away at Fulham. That's where things are at the minute for Arsenal. Saka plays it up the line to Jesus, but he's robbed far too easily. And Fulham coming forward. Brilliant defending there. And was that a foul there on the big defender Bassi by Martin Odegaard? Referee says no, Odegaard's now got the ball. Just touches it back to Declan Rice. Tomiyasu finds Saka on this near side. Can Arsenal salvage a draw, which won't be a great result, even if we did, really. But anyway, we'll take it now. Obviously, it's going to be better than losing, but we need to find something here. Saka, that is a bad ball from Saka. That's a terrible ball, and it's gone straight into the arms of Bernd Leno. Saka shakes his head, and I think that pretty much sums it up today. Nathan says, such a well-coached team, Fulham. I wonder why that might be, my friend. Well, that might be because they've actually got a manager who knows what he's doing. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason. Who knows? But you're right. They have been really good. Bournemouth have just pulled it all back against Tottenham. It is Alex Scott with the goal. Not the Alex Scott who's on Grandstand all the time or Football Focus. I don't assume it's that Alex Scott. It's the other Alex Scott who plays for Bournemouth, who's just scored. It is 3-1 though to Tottenham. And Fulham coming forward again. Well, Jimenez, he's offside. And then he was pushed over by Gabriel. Oh dear. And Jimenez gets a yellow card for kicking the ball away. Mark C says, yeah, a 0 attacking threat from us. Absolutely. Mark C says, like a limp handshake. Yep. That's what we've been limp. That's at least the last 2 games, haven't we? We've been limp. Anyway, there's going to be another substitution now for Fulham in stoppage time. It is going to be Harrison Reed who is coming on. And I'm not sure who's going off as yet. It looks like Lewis Bowen-Morton on the bench for Fulham, one of their coaching staff. He used to play for Arsenal, of course. It's Tom Kenny going off, their captain, and Harrison Reed is coming on for Fulham for this last few minutes of stoppage time. Obviously, there'll be a bit more added on. It's Bowen-Morton with Marco Silva there. He's in their coaching team, of course. He did play for Fulham and Arsenal. One of the players who's played for both these clubs. So Raul Jimenez got himself a yellow card there for kicking the ball away, and then he got flattened by Jesus for his trouble as well. Nathan says there, Saka, yeah, he's not been great today, has he? Really, really poor. And he's not the only one. Martin Odegaard chipped the ball into the box. Again, it's a really, really poor cross. Just hopeful, if anything, not looking for anybody in particular. It's just a weak ball into the box. William Saliba now. We're into the last 2 minutes of stoppage time. There'll be a little bit more because of that substitution that Fulham just made. Saka now on his near side finds Martin Odegaard. Odegaard plays it in to Trossard. Now it's with Odegaard again. Swings a foot at it. The cross comes in again. Fulham are there. Strong defending. It is from Fulham. William Saliba heads it forward only as far as Anthony Robinson, who does well. And now he's going to be able to bring the ball forward, is he? He just pinches it off Saka, but it falls to Tomiyasu. Arsenal put some pressure on here. Reece Nelson plays out to the far side to Gabriel Jesus, but he's had it pinched off him. He's been awful since he's come on, Gabriel Jesus, today. Really, really poor. Anyway, Arsenal still in possession now. Tomiyasu finds Saka into the last 90 seconds of stoppage time. Saka goes around the outside, but he doesn't because Robinson's out. It's going to be a corner out to Arsenal. We're going to have at least one more chance to get the ball into that Fulham box. The last 3 or 4 corners haven't even beaten the first man. Gabriel's at the far post and he wants it played longer this time. It's going to be Saka with this corner today to the edge of the 6-yard box. Header comes in. It's headed away by Fulham. It's going to be another corner to Arsenal. A little bit better ball that was there from Saka. But Fulham have managed to head it out. It's going to be another corner again on this near side. Again, it's going to be Saka with it, an in-swinger with his left foot. Can we salvage a point in the last minute of stoppage time? Again, it's a header from Fulham, heads it away. Again, it was a better corner, but no Arsenal player attacking it. Saka's got the ball again over on this near side. William Saliba finds Martin Odegaard. Arsenal having a late push here for the equaliser. Trossard with the ball in, but it's overhit. It's gone behind. It is going to be a goal kick, and you do feel that that is it. And you feel as though Arsenal are going to get what we deserve from this game, which is absolutely nothing. We're into the last 15 seconds of the 5 minutes. There'll be a bit more for that substitution, but it's not going to matter now because the goal kick to Fulham. They are just going to keep the ball. Terry says, leave Arteta alone. Look how many players he has improved under his man management skills. I can count at least none. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, none. That is the answer. Terrible. This is terrible. It's been terrible again. and it's a goal kick to Fulham. We've played the 5 minutes. It's just whatever the referee's going to add on. Marco Silva is just asking how much longer that's going to be. But Fulham have deserved this today. They've been brilliant, Fulham, you have to say. We've been really poor. And a combination of those two things is leading to this result, which is heading for a defeat for Arsenal. Bernd Leno is going to take this goal kick for Fulham. He goes long. We're just into the last few seconds now. And Arsenal maybe get one last attack here. But not in that case because Fulham have headed it away. It was Issa Diop. And now Fulham have got possession over on that far side with Raul Jimenez. And they've now got a throw in the Arsenal half over on that far side. We've played nearly 6 minutes of stoppage time. Marco Silva is demanding the final whistle, but it hasn't come yet. But it's just a matter of time. Seconds remaining here at Craven Cottage. Arsenal heading for another defeat. And this is not been at all a good Christmas, has it, for Arsenal? And there goes the full-time whistle. It is over here at Craven Cottage. It has finished. Fulham 2, Arsenal 1. An absolute Arteta disaster class once again. Too many of them have been happening recently. 2 defeats in a row, 1 point out of 9. And you have to say Arsenal didn't deserve anything from this match. Mark C says, top strikers will look at the way we play and not find us an attractive proposition. Absolutely not. No striker's going to want to play for Arsenal because they're not going to get any chances, are they? Or they'll be asked to play in a much deeper role. Nathan says, deserve nothing from that game. Simple as that. Absolutely right, my friend. Absolutely right. No arguments there at all. We definitely didn't deserve anything from that game. That was desperately, desperately poor. And we got the perfect start. We wanted a good start after the other night. We got it. Saka's goal after, 3 or 4 minutes. The Arsenal players with their heads down, looking really dejected, but they've got to look at themselves as well. Terry says Arteta must have taken crossing the ball lessons this week. Yeah, he must have done, yeah. Marco Silva there is chatting to Cedric Suarez. Maybe he might end up at Fulham in January, who knows. But Arsenal got the perfect start. Say 3 minutes it was. Martinelli's shot was saved by Bernd Leno and Saka bundled it in. But after that, we did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Fulham were level before half-time. It was Raul Jimenez with the goal, across from the far side from Paulina. And Raul Jimenez fired it in to make it 1-1 at half-time. The second half, Arsenal never really did anything. Let's be honest, it was awfully poor. We made some substitutions, changed things around. It made no difference. It was terrible. And in the end, Fulham got the win. It was Decordova-Reid. It was a corner, poor defending from Arsenal. And Decordova-Reid put it in from close range. And Arsenal never really looked like scoring. And one chance we had was the big one for Saka. He fired it over the bar when he had a load of space inside the 6-yard box. And, yeah, really, really poor that was from Arsenal today. Really, really poor. Henry says, we're just playing like a set of headless chickens. Exactly, yeah, that's exactly what we are doing. Exactly what we are doing. Raul Jimenez, and I'm assuming that's his wife there with his kid in the crowd, or it's just some random woman. But that's a nice moment, isn't it? They got some Mexican flags there. I'm sure that's his family. And he'd have enjoyed that today, wouldn't he? Especially against Arsenal, of course, the team he got injured against. Martin Odegaard's going off, looking dejected. Bukayo Saka as well. That was desperately, desperately poor from Arsenal. And there's no excuses anymore. There is no excuses anymore for this manager. I'm sorry, there isn't. We cannot keep making it. What excuses have we got left? There isn't any now. There is no more excuses left. Phil says, we got what we deserve. Lifeless, so disappointed. Yeah, exactly. Alex Iwobi is dancing away on the pitch there, having been a big part in Fulham's victory today. Mark C says that was, it was. No creativity, no killer instinct, not looking motivated. Exactly, yeah. We're not, but I've been saying this for 2 or 3 years. Whenever we're behind in the game, we don't really pile everything forward, and we're still too structured and want to play this structured way. When you're losing the game, you've got to. I'd rather lose 3-1 by pushing everybody on than playing that same way and just limping over the line to a 2-1 defeat. We've done that too many times. It really is. Terry says, is it because of the rain or is it Arteta is just a drip that was embarrassing? Well, a bit of both. We're not blaming the rain. I mean, I can't wait to see what excuses there are for all these people that think Arteta needs time, money, which he's had loads of both. What more excuses are there? We're fourth in the table. We're going to struggle to make the Champions League at this rate. You know, it's ridiculous. The time and money he's had, these performances are getting worse and worse and worse. Terry says only 7 days until we're out of the FA Cup. Yeah, absolutely. We're not beating Liverpool in that, are we? And I bet Arteta's not even that bothered. He'll probably make loads of changes and won't be bothered. That was embarrassing, man. That was embarrassing. The whole performance there was embarrassing. It really was. And another one, you know, following on from the other night against West Ham, I think this was worse. I think this was worse. We were desperately, desperately poor today. Really, really bad. Anyway, the good news is I am on Talk TV later on the Mark Sager show, 7:00 tonight, where we're going to be talking about this game now. Honestly, I don't know what to say about it. It was horrible. It was a horrible Arsenal performance. No leadership on the pitch. No inspiration on the pitch. There's nothing. And this isn't a one-off anymore. People say, oh, you know, the other day there was a lot of people that are critical of the West Ham game. And like, oh, it's one game. It's like, no, it's not one game, is it? This isn't one game. You know, this is 4 years. We've had 4 years of this. 4 years of when it matters, when the pressure's on, you know, we're just not good enough. And we're never going to get there with this manager and this team. I'm sorry. We're not going to do it. And it's time that everybody started getting a reality check and say, well, okay, are we happy just chugging along, you know, maybe winning some games? Of course, we're going to win some games. We've got some good players. But when the pressure's on, falling away and doing nothing, winning no trophies, are we going to be happy just keep doing that? Or are we going to say, do you know what? Let's actually get a change in to take this forward onto the next level and actually start winning some trophies, bringing some trophies in, which is what we've been desperate for. Regina says there, see a poor game, too many top managers on this site who have never not managed. It's not about that though, is it? You don't have to be a manager to see what's wrong. You don't have to be a manager to see that this isn't working. You don't have to be a manager for that. We've all played football. Well, I'm sure most of us have played football. We understand the game. We've watched enough football. We know what's going on. You know, we can clearly see now. If you think Arteta is the right man, I want some reasons as to why you believe he is. So far, you haven't given any. You've just said, well, look at Chelsea, look at Man U. I don't care about them. Give us 2 reasons why Arteta is the right man to take this club forward. Give me 2 reasons why you believe Arteta can win us big trophies with this team and this manager. Just give me 1 reason why you believe it. Because you're not all you're doing, you're saying, well, we need to support him, we need to support him. Look at the state other clubs are in. But that's not the point. The point is, I need a reason. Some of us here need a reason why we should keep this manager. What makes you believe he can take us to this next level after 4 years and £670 million, whatever it is he spent, looking at this performance today? Give me 1 reason why you believe we should stick by him and that he's the man to take this club to the next level. 1 reason will do. 2 would be nice, but one will do for now. And we can go from there. Give me a reason, please, and then we can talk about it. Because I don't see any reason to keep him anymore. I don't see any reason to keep him. A couple of weeks ago, when we were scraping for a few wins, we won at Luton in the last minute, then we lost to Aston Villa. Well, we're top of the league. We're top of the league to keep him. Fair enough. I get that. We're not top of the league now. We're struggling to stay in the top 4. The Tottenham 3 points behind us now, and now in 5th place. Come on. Virginia says there, commentary's been good, comments poor, something is missing in it. What's missing then? What's missing? I believe it's the manager. I believe it's a top manager's missing and a centre forward, but that the 2 are related because this manager isn't going to buy a top centre forward because he's bought 1 in 4 years and he hasn't even bought a top centre forward. So there we go. Terry says, spot on Redondo, the thing missing is a good man. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I think as well. Mark C says, unless we sign a top striker in January, our season is over. It's not just that, though, is it? Yes, we need a top striker. Absolutely, 1,000,000% we need a top striker. But is a top striker, when you look at the rest of the things here, when you look at the manager, is that going to solve our problems? I don't think it will. I don't think it on its own. I don't think it's enough. Honestly, I don't. I think the change needs to be higher up than a striker. And I don't mean higher up in terms of the team. I mean higher up in terms of the club, the manager. That's where we need to change. Really. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The owners of the club, a majority of our fan base are quite happy. Oh, yeah, Arteta's a nice guy. He's got nice hair. You know, he rants at everybody, referees when we lose. So clearly he loves the club because that's what someone who loves a club does. Obviously makes excuses, which is what he's very good at. It seems like too many people are happy with that. They're happy with that situation. It's not going to change, is it? What it needs is, you know, I don't know, Redondo will disagree with me, but it doesn't need everybody to back this nonsense. What it needs is, it needs everybody to say, no, it's not good enough. we need better. We want better. We demand better. We're Arsenal, and this is what needs to happen. And then we'll get a change in place. And then hopefully then we can move. There's no guarantees. Of course not. There's no guarantee. You change your manager. There's no guarantees that you're going to suddenly have success. Some managers work at some clubs and some don't. Great managers have failed plenty of times at clubs because it just hasn't worked. But if you don't change and try, we clearly know now it's not working with Arteta. He's had 4 years. It hasn't worked. It has not worked. And everybody clings on to the FA Cup that he won with Emery's players that everybody said wasn't good enough. And yet since he's got rid of them and spent all this money replacing them, what's he won? Nothing. He's built a team that's won nothing. And he won a trophy with a team that had we kept the previous manager longer, backed him better, and supported him more in terms of giving him the signs he wanted. There's nothing to suggest that we wouldn't have been more successful now. Absolutely nothing at all. So for me, there's no reason to keep Arteta anymore. Absolutely no reason at all. But he's probably got the safest job in the Premier League because everybody, well, most people at Arsenal, it seems, are happy. Let's just plod along. It's fine. Who cares? Don't need to win trophies. There's a nice vibe. We've got a nice, friendly little dog at the training ground. What's there not to love? I'd quite like to have a trophy. I would personally, but maybe that's just me. Twelver says the end of season. Well, it's not quite the end of the season. It feels like the end of the season in terms of our chances of doing much. Terry says we haven't even reached the heights of Wenger's worst days under Arteta. No, you're right, we haven't. But people don't want to say that. People don't want to accept that, do they? People don't want to listen to that. They don't want to hear that because they were so desperate for Wenger to go, and they were so desperate for Emery to go that they refuse to see it. Absolutely refuse to see it. But anyway, Regenda says, see you next match. Indeed, my friend, which is next Sunday, the FA Cup, Liverpool. That's going to be fun, isn't it? Hopefully we can go on a run in the FA Cup. Tom Kenny's got man of the match, actually, for Fulham, their captain in midfield. He did a good job, but was he their best player? I don't know. I thought Paulinho was pretty decent, actually. But certainly wouldn't be any of our players, would it? Because we were desperately poor. So we've ended 2023 with a little bit of a whimper. We started, if you remember, with a 0-0 draw with Newcastle back in January, and we have ended it with this terrible 2-1 defeat at Fulham, and quite a lot of nonsense has gone on in between as well. Not been a great year, really, has it, overall? It's not been a year of progress. And unless things dramatically improve in 2024, it's going to be another year of stagnation for this club. And it's a shame because you can see we've got a team, we've got an 11 that aren't far away from being a good 11. If they were coached better, if we had better in-game management, someone with better tactical knowledge than their manager, and obviously a stronger squad in terms of players on the bench, this team could go on and have success. Unfortunately, that won't happen. We've got Anguzu says there, dear fans, we are so far lost 3 games. Mr. Wenger must be, Mr. Arteta, must be sacked. Yeah, I tend to agree with you. And you're not going to find us arguing with you on that fact. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, I'm afraid. Anyway. That is that then. We have lost this game at Fulham by 2-1. It was just a terrible performance. Terrible performance. We've ended 2023 as we finished 2022-2023 season. Crap. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, that was dreadful today. Really was. Really dreadful. When you're losing 2-1, wouldn't it be an idea to maybe brought on Emil Smith-Rowe? Maybe. But no. He didn't. He brought on Tommy Asu instead because Tommy Asu was going to win us the game. Anyway, that is that. It's finished. The game's finished. The year's finished. And quite honestly, I'll be glad to see the back of it. And I'll be quite glad to see the back of this manager as well. But I'm not sure that's going to happen in 2024, I'm afraid, regardless of what the rest of this season brings. But anyway, so it finished today. Fulham 2, Arsenal 1. Bukayo Saka gave Arsenal the lead after 3 minutes. And then that was about as good as it got. Fulham equalised midway through the first half, Raul Jimenez, and then it was Decordova-Reid that got the winning goal. Really poor defending in the second half. That was from, in fact, it was Tom Kenny's cross for that equaliser, actually. So, yeah, really poor from Arsenal today, and we've lost again. 2 defeats in a row, 1 point out of 9. We are 4th in the table. Tottenham are now breathing down our necks. Are we going to go through what we went through 2 years ago and lose out on the top 4 to Tottenham? I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. Phil says, I'm away now. See you later, my friend. Happy New Year to you and your family, my friend. Speak to you very, very soon. Have a good one tonight. Everybody else as well. I know it's not a great way to finish the year after that dreadful performance. But anyway, Terry says, well, I remember Happy New Year to you, Richard, Martin, Nathan, all in the chat. And yourself, my friend, Happy New Year to you. Mark C says, I don't even want to think about next Sunday. No, I don't, to be honest, not at the moment. But anyway, we've finished. This has been our last show of 2023. Just before we go, I just really wanted to say thank you to everybody that's got on board with the channel throughout this last 12 months. Seen real growth this year. It's been brilliant, actually. The way the channel's grown, the little community that we've got going on now, it's really good, and that's down to you guys, for supporting the channel, and I really appreciate it. It's been fantastic to see the channel grow as quickly as it's grown this year. It's been great. So we're looking to, continue this growth in the new year. We're going to maybe try a few new things as well, a few different shows and stuff like that. Obviously, we'll have the usual things. We'll still keep doing the matches and all that kind of stuff, and the women's show and all that stuff. We're not going to change any of that, are we? But yeah, we're going to, maybe try 1 or 2 different things as well. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for your support this year of the channel, for watching, for sticking by us, and for staying with us and helping us to grow. So that's it for 2023. It's not been a great year for Arsenal overall, has it? Disappointments all round, really, and today summed it all up, didn't it, really? Really poor. But anyway, that is that then. I will see you. I mean, we'll probably have a bit of time off this week. We'll be back, obviously, Sunday for the Liverpool game. I might actually do a preview show of the Liverpool game at some point, maybe in a week. Last time we were trying to get a Liverpool fan on, you couldn't make it. We'll maybe try and get them on again. Jake his name was, from Anfield Road TV. Maybe try to see if he can come on this week, and we'll maybe try and get a preview show for the Liverpool game. Otherwise, we'll be here for the game on Sunday, and then of course it's sort of like a winter break after a little bit, isn't it? A couple of weeks without a game, and of course the women aren't back, and I know women are back on the 14th, aren't they? So we'll have a women's show on the 12th as well. So there will be some stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks, but we're going to have a little breather maybe. We've had a busy 2023, so we're going to have a little breather and we can get cracking again in the new year. So I say thank you to everyone out there for watching. Have a good time tonight, whatever you're doing. Have a good weekend and a good new year. And we'll see you soon. Terry says, Richard, many thanks for all your time and hard effort. I really appreciate it. Come on, you Gunners, and come on, you Gunner girls. Let the embarrassment continue into 2025. Yeah, I mean, sure it will, but there's not going to be any changes, is there? So yeah, that's it. I say enjoy your tonight, whatever you're doing. Have a peaceful and a happy new year, and we will see you in 2024. Terry says Arteta out. Well, that's probably a good way to finish the year, isn't it? With that, because I kind of agree with you. So yeah, thank you. I say enjoy your new year. Have a good one, guys. And we will see you in 2024. Thanks for watching. Not a good way to finish, though, was it? Fulham 2, Arsenal 1. But it's been good fun with you guys, as always. Take it easy. Happy New Year. And I'll see you in 2024. Come on, you guys. Hello, guys.